Turn the mic on here.
Can you type in the city that you're in, if you can hear me right now, please? Well, if we have a connection, just type in the cities that you're in so I know that you can hear me well. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got some boys to Denver. Shout out to Denver, New York, San Francisco, Mumbai, all the way from Mumbai. What up, Mumbai? Get that bio data, Mumbai. So, look, I want to thank you guys for joining. I'm really excited to have you on, and we have a lot of really exciting things to talk about today. A couple quick things is I'm going to do a little bit of Q&A later on. So we're waiting for a few more guys to come on. We had a lot of signups, and there's about 400 guys on right now, but I expect quite a few to come yet. So while we're waiting for a couple of those, could you just shoot in Phoenix? I see you, Phoenix, Bangkok, New Zealand represent. What up, Bryce? Can you shoot in real quick a couple questions that are on your mind that I could help you answer a little bit later? Just personal things I can most help you with. And I'm going to take a few of those questions for Q&A a little bit later on. Also quickly before we get started, just a couple other little things is like, we're going to have like a really, really special day together. I've done a webinar once in my life. This is my second webinar of all time. It's going to be clunky. It's odd for me to speak in this format. I'm used to speaking on a stage. I'm used to speaking in professional settings, but we're going to make the best of it. It's going to be sexy, no doubt, nonetheless. And the things that are going to be really important, like I want you to stick around until the end of the webinar because I'm going to reveal something that I haven't yet. I'm going to reveal a piece of content that's going to be on my upcoming program, The 10 Commandments of Game. And the stuff on that program is going to be sick. I'm not here to talk about the 10 Commandments of Game so much, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek into what's going on there. I never created a digital pickup program. I've done like live coaching when people have asked me to. Never did a digital program. And I've been working on this since last September, like 13 months. And it's fucking comprehensive. It's fucking dope. It's comprehensive. And I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek into that later. And why do you care? Well, I'm going to teach you something out of that. Maybe it's going to take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but I'm going to teach you something out of that. First time release to the public, something that I use with my bootcamp clients, something that I use with my most successful friends, my assistants, and the things I've taught other RSD instructors that if you implement that shit, you're going to have, it ain't going to be months. If you implement the few things I'm going to teach you in that 15 minutes, you're going to have better results this week. I'll say that again, you're going to have better results this week. Not next month, not next year, this week. So you're going to be around for that. You don't want to miss that shit at all. You can't afford to miss that shit. And, finally, before we get started, Tyler, Owen from RST is already forewarned. This isn't going to be like a politically correct conversation. I don't hang out with guys that are worried about political correctness. If you're a real sensitive guy, real concerned about your feelings, you might want to log off now, man. This is like your safe space warning that I only associate with guys that I can have like a conversation about the real world. We can talk about things that are going on in reality. We can talk about things that are going to actually, help you step your shit up and get real world results. So last warning, if you're a little politically correct, safe space, queer, you might want to get out of here. You might want to go suck your thumb or something, or, whatever those type of fellas do. This ain't, you're on the wrong thing. You got to get on like the feminist podcast or some shit, the feminist webinar, because this ain't the one. All that said, yeah, man, if you're the type of guy that's fucking happy to engage with reality, you want to get results, well, then you're in the right fucking space and you're going to find this tremendously useful. So right now, let's get started, man. I'm going to have my buddy here. Can you monitor some of these comments of what's going on with anything alarming over here? So make sure everything's in great shape. What up, Gabriel? I see you. Shout out to Gabriel. Shout out to Roberto. Roberto says, fuck bitches, get money. What up, Roberto? So in case, first I really want to compliment you dudes. It's like, You think of all the other things that other guys are doing right now, and like, they're probably watching sports. I don't know, like living their life vicariously through some other man, looking at him in some tights or a jersey or something, like a homosexual. What are other guys doing right now? What are some of your friends doing? Probably masturbating with whipped cream, looking at some family photos or whatnot, maybe having sex with the neighbor's dog. But they ain't doing what we're doing. They're not spending their evening, logged in, talking about self-development, talking about how to make a better life for yourself, how to make a better sex life, just how to be a dope motherfucker in general and get shit done, and be the type of man that, like, other men are going to admire and other women are going to want to fuck. So, well, when they're watching sports, no doubt some of those guys are probably watching some internet shit right now with Tyler. They're probably watching a Tyler vid. Maybe they're rubbing their little clit-sized dick or something. But we're here working on some real shit. So I really want to compliment you to make a commitment to spend your evening like this instead of rubbing a clit-sized dick in some awkward situation, man. I hear this talk all the time. People are saying to me, nines and tens. And there's a lot of pickup shit on the internet, like how to get the nines and tens, how to get tens every day, how to get 10 tens a day. And it's just like, just preposterous shit after preposterous shit. And like, Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's his business partner. He talks about these nines and tens, or the way he says it is like, the way to get what you want in life is to deserve it. And the good news for us is, like, many of you guys already deserve it. Many of you guys already got a dope ass life. You got a lot of shit going on that you're already like really excited about, delighted about, proud of yourself. And like, man, type into this damn chat box. If you got the type of life that you're already excited about something, you got some dope shit going on, type hell yes into that chat box. Hell yes if you got some dope shit going on in your life already. Hell yes. Bombarded with hell yes. Thank you. So now we're talking to the right people. And a lot of guys want some quick fix loser type shit. They're a loser and they're really dedicated to staying a loser. So they're like, how can I get that quick fix? How can I get, Derek, how can I still act like a fucking loser and a piece of shit and have outcomes that I absolutely don't deserve in the world? How can I get the outcome I don't deserve while still acting like a low life piece of shit? Probably you're not going to, man. But again, most of the clients I come across, they got either a value problem or a marketing problem. If you're one of those guys who's a piece of shit and you're dedicated to staying a piece of shit, I can't help that guy, man. But the good thing is most of you guys, you ain't here tonight because of that. You're the guy with the marketing problem. You're the type of guy that you already got some dope shit going on in your life. You're already happy to be who you are. You're already happy to be living most of you a far above average life. And other ones, maybe you came from a rougher spot. I came from a rougher spot. And, you're building a far above average life. And like I as my good friend Brandon Carter says, I fucks with those guys. So, the bottom line on that is like, if you want to get the shit you want in the world, it's like, you got to ask yourself, how do I deliver to that woman? How do I deliver to her what I would want to buy if I was in my ideal woman situation? And if you're thinking like that, you're going to have that woman real quick. You're thinking about, how do I help other people accomplish their goals? What can I do for them? How do I build the sort of team around me? So, not only am I living a dope life, but I'm around other people who are. We're productive together. We're getting shit done together. And it just be naturally attractive for a woman to want to be around that, man. So in a bit, I'm going to have another very special announcement. It's like legitimately going to be life-changing for a lot of you. For most of you, I'm going to give you the details about that in just a little while. But for guys that haven't like met me before on boot camp or one of my live events, I'm going to take just a minute, if you don't mind, to just give a little background about my life, like how I got involved in RSD, what my childhood was like, and most importantly, what you care about is kind of my pickup journey. But it'd be hard to understand that without having just a little more context to some of the things that I had to deal with. Good things and bad things that happened, but I'd say the beginning didn't start with a lot of great things. And, some kind of lowlights in my life was, when I was a kid, when I was like 7 years old, my dad went to prison. And before that, there was a lot of money. We had several houses and several vehicles. And Man, it was pretty baller, man. It was like some shit from a gangster movie. But the thing was, my dad was a gangster, and he got locked up for 15 years, starting when I was a little kid. I was 7 years old, and my uncle too. So that was my only uncle. So I didn't really have like a father figure growing up, and that put me into like a fucked up spot where I didn't have good mentors, and I had to do a lot of guess and check to try to find like what's the right way. Like what do I do? How do I make a better situation here? Because I knew I wasn't happy. I knew I didn't like shit the way it was, but yeah, I was just a little kid, man. I didn't have no guidance. I was misguided and undecided, like a fucking stupid hoe. Just misguided and undecided, and looking for some management in my life so somebody could show me like a path to brighter ways and better days, man. Um, so I found like a little child that I was in the Midwest. There's a lot of religious people there, and I found myself as a kid. You say your little prayers at night, like you're trained to do, you're indoctrinated to do, really. And I'd say my little prayers to God, and I just wanted to have my family back. I wanted things to be like normal. But that didn't work out. I tried that for a while, and I don't know. God was getting a blowjob or something. He was otherwise occupied, and he wasn't concerned about my childish emotions. But then I'm like, well, who's the other character that you hear about all the time that's supposed to be super powerful, can grant you wishes and shit? Oh yeah, that's Satan. So then I naively prayed to Satan for a shorter period of time, and I thought, Satan knows I'm going to do his misdeeds already. He has no reason to incentivize me. He's a very crafty devil. So no need to dwell on that. Then I just looked around and it was like, my mother wasn't really capable of doing anything. All our shit got confiscated. So I was just like a little poor kid on welfare with my half crazy mom that, sometimes it'd slap the shit out of me for really no reason or call me some filthy names pretty frequently. And, it wasn't really a great time, man. So let's fast forward just a little bit. Is like, some good things that happened. It's like, when I was like 14, I lost my virginity at 14. That was pretty cool. And the very next day, I had sex with another girl, and they were a couple of the hottest girls in my school, man. Um, but the thing that was awesome was I was like, damn, like maybe after you lose your virginity, then it happened again. I'm like, damn, I wonder who I'm going to have sex with on the third night. But the third night came and went, and my dreams were shattered again. I'm like, oh shit, well that don't work. And some good stuff that happened was like, you know, we had a lot of parties because I had a misfit family, so there's a lot of parties at my house, a lot of parties at the neighbor's house. And through social circle, I could get laid pretty frequently because, we kind of controlled the environment, and we were the fun party spot, and I was in charge of it. So, girls would pick me sometimes, but, the fucked up shit was like, I didn't even know it was a bad thing at the time. I thought everything was great. But the thing that got me excited about pickup later is, years went by from like age 14 till 22. Some girls picked me once in a while, and I wasn't such a dumbass that I didn't know how to like carry it forward when she kind of threw herself at me a couple of times. But I just had no idea how to go get a girl by myself. And, things that a lot of you guys are doing of like, cold approach, going out into a club and meeting a beautiful woman or meeting her on the street or wherever she happens to be, your college campus. Scary to meet a woman in your workplace today. Scary to try that. I don't recommend it right now. Likely to fuck up your career. But those cold approach things, like it wasn't even in my mind. I was too dumb. And in that between 14 and 22, I managed to have sex with like 40 something women. But I didn't really pick them. I didn't feel like I had a choice in the type of girl that was going to be with me. And that really bothered me. So when I learned about this shit, and I met Nick and Owen in like 2002. And when I learned about pickup, they invited me. Actually, it was 16 years ago, man. It was November 2002, middle of November. So this month would be 16 years since I met them. And they invited me like, hey, man, come to fucking Hollywood. We got this dope house. We got, Courtney Love staying with us. We got this little bald chode writing a book. And, it was cool. It was an adventure, man. It was an adventure. So I was in and out of the Project Hollywood house a lot. And we did a lot of shit there. It was embarrassing, some of it, but all that structured game where you're going out lying about your life like a bitch, that shit was real gay. But man, I'll tell you some things that happened. Let's finish up just a couple other negative anchors that I'd share with you that are kind of embarrassing, really. But I just want you to understand some of the troubles I had and why I was so motivated to get really good at this. Is, when I was like 18, my girlfriend at that time, she like cheated on me in my car with her ex-boyfriend. She like fucked her ex-boyfriend in my car. That was a special moment in life. And then, I was moving away like many of you would have. I was moving away from a lot of pain or uncomfortableness in my life. So I wanted to work all the time. I wanted to be like just a workaholic, and I wanted A's in my university classes. I wanted to do good in my business. I quit my last job when I was 19, and I started my first business, and that was a big priority for me. So I knew I wasn't supposed to have like a normal life or a normal job or something. So the girl that I really fell in love with, and I really had the most amazing relationship with my life up to that time. She finally abandoned me because I worked too hard, and she wrote me like a 4-page letter and packed her shit while I was working, like literally just left me like a 4-page letter and like the keys to my house and shit. And she's like, felt like she's getting in my way, and she got to go. And that rattled around in my head. Well, it still does, obviously. I'm still thinking about it. But, another story is just a little aside is, I met Mark Cuban a few years ago. Actually, I ran into him a couple months ago in the club. I chatted with him briefly. But when I first met him, Cuban was telling a story about he had like 2 girlfriends earlier in life when he was a young man, up and coming. And he said both of those women, he said they were the loves of his life. And he's married. He don't talk about his wife as being the love of his life. He talks about those 2 women. He says that, he just wanted to work, man. He was so focused on his business that he didn't really spend time with them. He didn't really give them a lot of attention that they needed. And he said eventually they come to him. It's like, Mark, I know you're working, but can we go to dinner or something? Good. Can you take me to a movie? Can we go out and do something? He's like, I'm busy. And he said eventually, that leads to a spot where the girls are like, Mark, you don't spend any time with me for weeks. Like, I need you to spend some time with me or I got to go. And he said he looked at them and he told both of them, different times. He said he looked at the woman. He said, what's your name again? And, he didn't say that in a macho or cocky way. He said it like he still heard about it. And, that really resonated with me because I felt that way. I was, I wanted to be ambitious. And I was ambitious and I wanted to be successful and I wanted to get shit done. And that was really painful when you have conflicting goals like that. And, you gotta fucking give things up that you really valued and things you wanted your whole life, and you had to give up one to get the other. So, he always stuck in my head with that. And anyways, some of these things like, cheating girlfriends or, just my kind of fucked up things that happened in my childhood, for a long time, I felt really ashamed of some of those things. And I kept a lot of those things to myself. And, the more I worked with clients on boot camp and I got to know a lot of other successful guys that had like rough spots or tumultuous times in their childhood or their early or adult life. I was like, all of us got problems like that, man. Those troubles aren't unique to me, and they're not unique to you. The troubles you got, man, everybody's got their story. And I don't think mine's any more or less. Everybody's got their emotional story. This like something that's fucked up happened, and the reason all of us are here, 400 and something of us are talking right now is like, it ain't because every fucking day of our life went great. It ain't because every fucking moment of your life was delightful. Is probably you had some really tough times in your life. Probably you felt beat up at times, or maybe you were physically beat up at times, and you're like, man, this is fucked. But there's one commonality that every man on here has is like, at one time or another, you felt like a little bitch. And you got tired of feeling like a little bitch. You knew it wasn't right. That wasn't your place in the world. And you're like, well, what do I got to do to get myself out of it? What do I got to do to make a better life for myself? And I think that's the one commonality that every single one of us has, man. And a bit of humor here, but if you feel that way, if you're one of those guys that sometime you felt like a little bitch and you're like, fuck that shit. Like, I'm going to go do whatever I got to do to be successful. I'm going to have a successful life despite whatever happened to me. I want you to put a me too. I want you to write me too. And yes, I see the humor of that. And yes, I think it's hilarious. Write me too in the fucking chat box. If you felt like a little bitch and you just made a commitment to yourself that I ain't going to live my life this way, I'm going to be a successful fucking man. I'm going to be a fucking gangster and get shit done. I don't give a fuck who likes it or don't like it. I'm going to go get shit done and live a dope ass life. Man, I love you guys. Those guys, you typing that shit in. I love you guys, man. Like those my people, man. Those are the people. That's why I fuck with RSD. That's why I do this shit. Like, maybe some of you guys maybe don't know, but I make like 10% of my money, 8% of my income from RSD. But the valuable thing that I got from that community is like some of my friendships and some of my relationships. I see some of you guys on here now. It's like, man, you can't meet people like that on the street. I met cooler people through this ecosystem because of what we just talked about. Because these guys are serious and motivated, and you're not going to give up. You're not the guy that's going to go sit down and drink and fucking watch football like a queer, and live your life vicariously instead of living your life like a fucking champion. You're going to get your own fucking champion ring. And if you feel that way, I love you guys for real. So, look, man, like I know we got off to a grim start. I'm not known for my cheeriness, by the way, but let me share a few more positive things that happened in the aftermath, man. It's like, I talked about quitting my job and shit. When I was 18, I was a lowly Walmart worker. And I was not even doing something glamorous. I was like stocking shelves and unloading trucks overnight, like third shift, like 11 till 7. And that's fucked. That's fucked. And I was like, God damn, like, they had these policies there that like, if you worked there, you had to do that little peasant job for at least 6 months before you were even eligible for a promotion. And I was working with people that were in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they've been doing that shit for like 7 years, 12 years, and never got a promotion. Like that's their career, man. And I was like, damn. And I looked at that and I thought one thing that really helped me be successful in life is like whatever was necessary, whatever I felt like was necessary for me to do. If I was going to do something, I want to do the best I could at it. I don't want to do anything if I couldn't do the best I could. Don't mean I'm going to be the best in the world at everything. Probably you're not. But whatever you're doing, man, be the best you can at that fucking thing. And even being a little peasant boy unloading shelves, 21 years ago, unloading trucks and stocking shelves. After 4 months, they gave me a promotion. They gave me 2 departments to manage. So I was a little 18-year-old kid. They made me department manager. And they broke the rules because I was such a good fucking executor. They broke the rules and they gave me a promotion. They gave me a raise before I was even eligible to do that. And then, about 7 months after that, I was there 11 months total, and they gave me my next promotion. And then I was 19, and I had people that were 2 and 3 times my age, more than 3 times my age. And I got to tell those people what to do. Like, I got to tell them how to stock the shelves and shit. Got keys to the store and, order whatever I want and so on. And that store, people talk bad about Walmart, but, those people, they really gave me, the people I was around, my managers, my district manager, they broke the rules to give me opportunities because I was willing to execute whatever was necessary. When I saw a path to success that I could add value to the organization, I could add value to them individually and make their lives easier, they really reciprocated and helped me out. So I had a lot of respect for that. But time went on. I was there till I was 19. I quit when I was 19 because I had access to the financial statements. And I saw, the history of that store for 20 some years where like I could approximate the impact that I made on my department or the things that I was managing versus like, the people that were there before me. And when I saw that stark contrast in like the numbers and they were sending me to like other places, I was working like 3 days a week in my store. And then they would send me like 2 or 3 days a week and pay me overtime to work in other stores and train people at age 19. And I thought like, these guys see a lot of potential in me and I see what the numbers are. And I'm like, if I just worked as hard on my own business, if I had the same work ethic and same motivation and I worked on my shit, what would my life look like a few years later? And I had that thought and I got myself in college. I didn't start going to college till I was 19, but I got myself in college. I never wanted a job. I never wanted a job, but I did want an education. I think your education is very fucking important. I don't care about a job. Job is, that might be something you're doing right now, but, do it the best you can so you can either have the best job possible or you should have the freedom to go do your own thing later in life, whatever you want to do, man. But a couple other good things that happened, man, is like, later on, years of college and being a nerd, I went to the number one graduate school in my country, and I went to University of Chicago for business school through their MBA program. It was ranked number one when I was there, still ranked number one. It's tied with Harvard for number one right now. And if you saw me as a child, like a little fat kid, crying because my mom just hit me again for really no reason, um, you know, that seemed like a long way away, man. Coming from where I came from, my dad was in the newspapers all the time. That seemed like a long way away from where I was at one time. And I want to get you guys focused on that of like, if you're thinking the right way and you're surrounding yourself by the right people, I mean, you can do a lot of shit, man. You can do a lot for your finances. You can do a lot for your health or fitness if you care. You can do a lot with your sex life. Like, where the fuck you're at right now, and I presume most of you are doing pretty damn good. A lot of guys on here would be having a far above average life. Um, Wherever you're at right now, man, like, you can have a lot more. You can have a lot more. And don't fucking, I'm not trying to give you some happy affirmation. I'm just telling you bluntly that, like, I don't think there's anything special about me, except I was willing to set goals and go execute, and set goals and go execute. And I was willing to go find mentors and find people that were doing better than me, so I could have them help me, show me the shortcuts, so I didn't have to waste my life in some dead end bullshit. And I could just internalize, execute, and move on. Internalize, execute, and move on. And because of that, like, back to girls, I know you guys like to talk about girls. It's like, I had sex with over 500 girls now, and my biggest enemies, my biggest detractors wouldn't say they ever saw me with an ugly girl. I always had a beautiful girl. And I had threesomes, I had 200 and something times, maybe close to 300. I don't know, man. And again, like, I never would have pictured that. I never would have pictured that as a child. I'd be going to the Playboy Mansion and having sex with 3 girls in a night. I'd be going to Vegas and having sex with 10 girls in a week, or sometimes 4 girls in like a 24-hour period, like girls you just met. And I never pictured that as a kid, man. Taking girls from celebrity men, from professional athletes and Hollywood movie stars and shit. Like, it wasn't in my mind. It wasn't something. If somebody told me I could have had a quarter of that, I would have been so delighted about it. And when I look back and I think of, like, damn, like, where I'm at now, I think I could do, way more than 4 times as much. I think I can do a lot more than I have already. And I'm only 39. I got a lot of goals, a lot of things I want to do yet. But as far as the girl stuff, it's like, a lot of it just comes down to belief in yourself, man. If you got a fucking bigger vision and a bigger goal and you're willing to execute and you build the right team around you, you're going to be a motherfucking champion. And if you got a big ego and you want to sit home and do it by yourself, you're going to be a motherfucking chump. And it's pretty much as stark as that. So you're going to put your ego aside. You're going to do some tough things that are necessary to pay your dues and, learn the skill sets necessary to go on to success. Or, just stay home, man. Just stay home. Like, I got a buddy, he's really good at jujitsu. We were hanging out with the Diaz brothers recently, a couple weeks ago in Vegas. And he talks about fucking, he's like, yeah, man, these guys, they think they're going to learn pickup watching a video or some shit. He's like, that's about as smart as me thinking I'm going to learn jujitsu, like watching a fucking MMA video and wrestling with a fucking teddy bear in my living room. He just mocks that shit. It's like, how would that ever happen? But it just couldn't, man. It could never happen, man. But anyway, wrapping that stuff up, it's like, I trained a lot of the RSD instructors. I banged some Playboy playmates and some girls you seen on TV. I dated a Maxim model for about 9 years. And probably more importantly, in the long term, is I just had a lot of relationships with like healthy, like really healthy relationships with just dope ass girls that were like just easy to be around, man. If you're on your path and doing your thing, I'll break this down in details so you guys can do this too. The info I'm going to share from you with 10 Commandments is literally going to help you with exactly this bullet point of like how to get the dopest, hottest girls, how to keep them in your life pretty effortlessly. I'm going to tell you all about that. And, just a bit, but you want to stick around for that. You don't want to miss that shit. Man, the next thing I'm going to share with you right now is like just a few of the bullet points that helped me to get that beyond just the structure that I said. It's like, what are a couple of the philosophies or thought processes that were like the major drivers or key things in my head that helped me get really great results. They helped me train some of the RSD guys, some of my friends, and a lot of my clients to get really, really great results too. And if I just had to give a few bullet points, it'd be like immensely useful, for you. If you implement this, it'd be immensely useful for you. It's like, man, girls have sex for emotional reasons, not logical reasons, man. And you got to be the source of her emotions. And back to that political correctness shit, like, I don't fuck with nobody that's politically correct. That's some lame shit, man. Political correctness is not for us. Political correctness is not for a productive, intelligent man who's probably doing good already. Or if you weren't doing good, you're on your way to go do good. You guys aren't on here with me because you're like dedicated to some bullshit loser lifestyle. You're on here with me because like you already got good shit going on. You generally like who you are. You're happy about where you are now, but not happy to be content and complacent. You're just like generally like who you are, but you got to move on to bigger and better things. You see your potential. You're out there going to get more, and that political correctness don't help you, dude. Political correctness don't do shit for you. Political correctness is for some fat bitch, some fucking fat loser chump dude that didn't take care of himself. The guy that was watching the football and eating chips instead of going to the gym and building a physique like he plays football. Political correctness is for fucking some chump that stayed in. He's just, oh, I'll just get laid through my social circle, bro. Just, yeah, like I had sex with like 3 girls last year, man. I'm on a roll. Political correctness is for that fucking idiot. It's like he's gonna wake up in 15 years with a fucking fat bitch that hates him and be miserable with his life and his 2 loser kids. And like he wants to be able to go out in the world and hold his head high and feel okay about himself, even though if he was objective, he'd have to say he's a fucking chump. And like it ain't for you, man. So don't get sucked into this bullshit. You ain't even allowed to talk like that in the workplace or something. You ain't allowed it in America, the so-called land of the free. You're not even allowed to have free communication anymore. That's fucked, man. But don't fall into that, man. You guys you're too serious. You got too much good shit going on. And I want you to like, bullet point to take away from this is like, don't shy away from controversy. It's okay to say things that are controversial. It's okay to say any fucking thing in a non-professional setting, so long as you're speaking from your heart, man. With the girls, like, I get it, man. Some of you guys, a lot of you guys got professional jobs. Most of my clients are like engineers, professional guys, a lot of military guys, a lot of engineers. But people that went to college and or went to the military, people that are like disciplined people that were they're athletes, some of them musicians, et cetera, et cetera. They're all good at something, but all of those people, they have a context where you got to go to work and put on your little smiley face and do your little thing, but realize that's not your identity. That's the role you're playing because you're at work, man. And if you weren't at work, here's the litmus test to really decide of like, where are you at on this spectrum? It's like, if you're at work, well, part of what you're getting paid for, part of your compensation is to like fit into that corporate culture, fit into the culture of that organization, whatever it might be. And that's fine, man. Don't go ruin your career. He's like, Derek told me to call a cunt a cunt. Don't go back to your boss and say, you fucking fat cunt. I know your kids are losers. It's not going to help you, man. It ain't going to help you get that raise you've been looking for. But do realize like that character that sometimes you play in a professional setting, that might be helping you with those goals right now. It's not helping you with your long-term goals. It's not helping you get laid. It's not helping you find the right business partners. It's not helping you do some of the higher level shit that you could do. Let's just focus on the girls part. It's like, a girl's going to have, the hot ass girl has to have sex with somebody that stands out. She can't have sex with some dude that's just like really good at blending in. Oh, his political correctness was really astounding. Like his fucking political correctness, like, goddamn, Sarah, I got so wet when I seen his social adeptness at fitting in such a bland and neutered manner. How could that happen, man? That can't happen ever. So a hot ass girl's got to be with a guy that stands out. She got to be with somebody that is capable of tolerating social pressure, capable of putting himself in difficult situations, and is cool with that. I'm going to break that down when I talk about that piece from the 10 Commandments. I'm going to break this down in more detail, the nuances of exactly how do you communicate that to the girl. But realize she has to feel emotions, and political correctness is the opposite of expressing emotions. It's the literal art and science of expressing no emotion. It's communication without opinion. It's basically nothing. It's garbage. It's not for you. Another thing is just taking personal responsibility for your outcomes, man. Like, I'm just going to cover this quick, but you are the CEO of your life, whether you want to be or not. Whether you want to be or not, it's not a choice. Nobody's more concerned about your outcomes than you are. And if you're not taking your outcomes seriously, if you're not finding the best people, the coolest guys, um, the the guys that might be your business partner, the guy that might help you advance your career, the guy that would be an awesome wingman, mentors on one end, guys on the other end that are just like great up and comers that you're helping them out, hooking them up, trying to be a good coach or a mentor to their life. If you're not finding those guys and interacting with them, you're not going to have the best possible life. And if you're not taking responsibility for your own outcomes, if you're not acutely aware that no one is more responsible for your outcomes than you are, that you are the CEO of your life, man, somebody else is taking charge and they don't have your best interests in mind as good as you do, man. So, I mean, you really got to trust your judgment. You really got to think deeply about what you want and surround yourself with the right type of people that are going to help you get that shit and, advance your goals and advance your agenda, man. So one more thing is, perception of like, we talked about some kind of shitty things earlier. And, again, I know some of you guys had plenty of trouble in your life too, but it doesn't matter what happens in your life, dude. Like, it matters, like, how are you going to react to that? It's just, instead of being a little bitch and worrying about all the things that you can't do, or how something happened that foreclosed some path to you, set you off course, like, focus your attention about the things that you can do. Focus all of your attention on it. Like, I'm not saying suppress your emotions. If something shitty happened in your past, if you're going through something shitty right now, man, like, I get it. I'm sorry that's the case, but that's the case for most men. That's just part of a man's life, frankly. It's not comfortable. It's not nice. I don't like it either. I wish I could avoid that pain myself. I really try to help you guys avoid as much pain as I can, but focus on the shit you can do. What could I do right now to make things better? What could I do right now to make things better? And again, I don't mean suppress your emotions. Like, feel whatever emotion that you want to feel, but the people that make decisions with their feelings instead of their logic, instead of being reasonable and logic, the people that are always concerned about their feelings, well, that's called a woman, or it's called a beta ass bitch ass male. And the men that get shit done in the world, like, you can feel whatever you want, man. Don't suppress your feelings. Feel whatever you want, and then ask yourself, well, are these emotions helping me accomplish my goals? All right, what's the best thing I could do right now to help me accomplish my goals? All right, let's go do that shit. I'm gonna go do that right now. Another thought, it's like you can't give a single fuck about some stranger's opinion of you, good or bad, this social media stuff where, right now I'm in Hollywood, California right now, and the girls here are insane. And like 10 years ago, there was a lot of hot girls in LA, 10, 15 years ago, beautiful girls. And they're a little silly, they're not the most brilliant girls. There's some girls at UCLA, USC, shout out to UCLA, shout out to USC, University of Spoiled Children, trust fund girl, I see you, girl. There's some smart people here, but mostly they're just a lot of hot, dumb bitches. But they knew they were hot, dumb bitches, and they were fun and playful little bunnies, and it was a cool thing, man. We were at the Playboy Mansion all the time. We had a lot of fun with those girls. Now when you go to LA, the social media thing has made it so, like, these girls get so much external validation, not just guys hitting them up on the street, but these girls make a career out of it. Like, Instagram is their career. Like, that's their thing. They ain't thinking about acquiring like a skill set or knowledge. It's like their career is to like look dope on Instagram and then have some chump ass dudes pay for their life, some sugar daddy faggotry, man. And um, if you're concerned about some stranger's opinion of you, you're basically like her. You're some dummy that's just like, oh, did they like my photo? Oh, the photo didn't get enough likes. Like, and you're concerned about if you're judging your value as a man based on external validation from others, man, that's not a good foundation to build your life on, man. So I would just say, we'll touch on this again. I'll tie this in later on to I'll do a 15, 20-minute segment specifically about these things of like how to avoid these pitfalls pragmatically so you can get better results this week, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, this week for sure. I'll tie those pieces together in just a little bit. You hang tight for a minute. You don't want to miss that shit. One more thought about this is like, like rejection from a girl. When you go talk to like a random girl and what you think is rejection when she's like, oh no, or oh, not right now, or whatever. Um, Bro, like, it should just mean nothing. You got to be so on your path and like so certain about what you're doing and this is the right thing for your life that you're not worried back to that stranger's opinion. You can't give a single fuck. It's got to be like it's got to be like you build your life so good that when you go hit on the girl, you feel so good inside. You don't have to be like a complete success yet. If you're just engaging in behaviors, maybe your life's a mess, but if you're engaging in behaviors that's going to lead to future success, you're going to feel very good about yourself. You're going to have real self-esteem. You're going to have real confidence because your competence is growing. And when a person feels competent, they also feel confident and they have self-worth and they feel excited to be alive and they feel like they're doing the right things in life. And you just got to be engaging in some of those behaviors so you feel that way and surrounding yourself by other people that are behaving in that way. And then for a fact that your life is getting better. And then when you go hit on the girl, it's like if she ain't feeling that, man, if she ain't fucking trying to follow your lead right now, it don't fucking matter. It's like it literally should be no more painful to you than if you walked up to a fucking bum on the street, offered a bum like $20, and he refused your money and told you to fuck your mother. Like, what would you do what would you do? I hope you would never give a bum money. Just leave him sit there. But what would you do if you offered a bum on the street some money and he told you, I don't need your money. Why don't you go fuck your mother? What could you do but laugh, man? You gonna argue with the bum? You gonna argue with the fucking bum, dude? Who the fuck would do that? Like, what could you do but laugh? Maybe tell one of your buddies later and then laugh again. It's like, that's what you should feel when you go talk to a girl. If you're the type of guy, you ain't even got to be successful yet. If you're the type of guy that's working on your success, if you're the type of guy that's building fucking life that you're proud of, you'd be very proud of later. You know what? You deserve to feel proud about that now. You deserve to approach that girl with enough confidence, enough fucking swagger and fucking big dick swagger that if the girl ain't in it, like, it literally is her loss. Not even like an egoic thing. It's like literally is her loss. It's just like, all right, man, cool. And go talk to another one. And like, you're just offering her an opportunity to be a part of your life, man. So build a life you're going to be excited about. Offer her a fucking opportunity to come along. One more thought for like the econ nerds out there of like, what is the world price of a vagina? And yeah, I mean it that crassly is like, what does a vagina get sold for? Like a prostitute. What does a prostitute sell a vagina for on the world market? Yeah, that's correct. Not much. Not fucking much. And her pussy is worth about the cost of a drink in like South Beach. If I go to a fucking South Beach nightclub and I go buy a drink, it's like $20 plus tax and tip. Is like, guys that come from other countries, dude, like in the half of the world, you go buy a woman for $25. So, what you're thinking of is like, oh, I need to get some pussy. And, pussy. Nah, man, like, what you're really probably more excited about, and this might be counterintuitive to some of you, what you're probably more excited about is just having like a cool relationship with a dope ass girl. Like, yeah, of course you're gonna get some pussy. Like, if you're a guy that's like on your way and doing good stuff, of course you're gonna get some pussy. But the way you're gonna get even more of it is to not be obsessed about some damn pussy. Is just like realize right now that there's plenty of places in the world. I got a lot of Indian guys. I went to graduate school. About probably a third of the guys in my graduate school are from India. And when you ask them, it's like, what would it cost to buy a pretty slum girl in Mumbai? And, they'll tell you like, oh, nothing, Derek. Oh, it costs nothing. And they say, no, like, give me a number. Like, what would it cost? And they'll be like, fucking, just some, a couple hundred rupees, like $2-3. Like that's what but you would want to give her a shower first. So that's what a goddamn vagina is worth, man. So stop obsessing about a vagina and start interacting with the girl like it's a human. If you did that, bro, like, you got to talk to her like a human, and you got to think to herself, like, what's her pussy worth? Well, it's worth about the cost of a drink in like, a drink in a nice Manhattan nightclub. It's worth about the cost of a drink in a high-end San Francisco lounge. It's maybe 2 drinks at a college bar. Maybe it's 2 drinks at a college bar. That might be fair. But don't be obsessed about a pussy, man. Her personality is worth a lot more than her vagina. That's sucker shit, man. These guys that think that they're spending lots of money and lots of time trying to get, some girl with some pretty pussy or something. Like, man, they're everywhere. It's like this is time misspent. It's time misspent. Like, you got to come from a frame of like, of course you're going to go get that. I'm not suggesting to you guys, by the way, go buy a bunch of prostitutes. I don't think that's going to help your fucking life, bro. It's probably going to make your life a lot worse. I'm just saying, realize that, you're being tricked if you think that that's what the prize is. The prize is not her vagina. The prize is having a hot, dope ass girl that you just get along with well, that you don't have all these management problems that other suckers do. One more thing about rejection is like, man, when a girl says no, I mean, there's a context where no means no, and it should be respected. If you're in the bedroom and the girl says no, you want to respect that, man, because under any circumstance you want to respect that, and especially in our current political environment, like you don't want to cross that line at all. You don't even want to get close to that line. So be very conservative if you're in an intimate place. But for fuck's sake, if you're at a nightclub and you go chat with a girl for a second and she's like, no, well, you should interpret that no as, well, maybe not yet. Not right now, not yet. And that doesn't mean be super physically aggressive, but do be persistent. If your persistence and enthusiasm can't overcome her reluctance or resistance to pay attention to you, well, then you just gave up, man. She didn't blow you out. You blew yourself out. You blew yourself out if that's what happened. And, anybody that's worth a damn in business could tell you, like, a negotiation didn't start until you heard the first no. A negotiation has not started until you heard the first no. And, let's talk about yes for a minute. Well, yes is cool. Now you're in the club and the girl likes you. The girl says she's down. She's you're about to go together. She might have even verbally said so. Well, yes is nothing without how, man. And if you don't know how to manage logistics, after you get good with pickup, dude, is like, and I don't mean years from now. I mean, if you had the right coaching and mentoring, you'd be good. And, in 3 months' time, you can get all your fundamentals in order. Take you about 3 months to have your fundamentals in really good shape. If you had like an average IQ and a lot of hustle, take you about 3 months to have your fundamentals in really, really good shape. And, from that time forward, you're going to spend about, 80-85% of your time. You're just managing friends. You're managing her friends. You're managing the logistics. You're dealing with like getting her. It ain't a problem of getting attraction or getting a girl that wants to have sex with you. The problem is like dealing with the environment and dealing with her peer group primarily to get her from where you're at to a place where sex can happen. So, you got to know that how. Getting to yes is pretty easy. You also have to know the how of how to deal with the friends, deal with the logistics consistently. So, you're going to lose a lot of girls, if you don't get that shit sorted out. One or two more here is just like, just about keeping your word, your own internal integrity. And I'm not here talking about ethics or morality. I'm just saying, like, what's the pragmatic shit that helps get shit done? And, I've just found like, when I make a promise to somebody that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Like, unless I die, I'm going to do it. If I promise somebody, I'll do it, even if it's not convenient for me anymore, even if it's kind of a burden to me. If I made a promise to somebody, now I'm reluctant to make those promises. Warren Buffett says there should be 99 no's for every yes. You should tell people no 99 times for every time you say yes. But if I say yes, I mean yes. And I want you guys to internalize that. Like, we're not talking about ethics. We're not talking about altruism. I'm not talking about morality. I'm talking about like, what are the thought processes and philosophies that when you're reluctant to say yes, but once you do say yes, you make sure it happens. That gives you tremendous confidence in yourself, man. You're not doing that for other people. That gives you tremendous confidence for yourself. That lets you know that when you give your word, it means something. When you give your word, it means something. You're going to keep your word forever. And final stuff here is like you got to have the best mentors. You got to have fucking guys that like, even if you're really, really smart, man, even if you're really, really smart, you're going to do a lot better when you get an awesome wingman. There's a few people in my life. There's probably, there's probably 3 guys in business that, if I never met those guys, they're probably responsible for 75-80% of my net worth. If I never got involved in pickup, that's probably 80% of my net worth would be gone right there. Because, all the things I learned to be good in business, a lot of those things I learned in a nightclub. And, I went to business school for undergrad and grad school and blah, blah, blah. And that's great. Like, that's, I don't make fun of that. I think that the academic education is undervalued right now if you go to the right places. If you go to a good school, I think it's undervalued right now. But, the things that the real world shit that gets results, I learned a lot of that, like negotiating with women. If you can negotiate a girl's panties off in 40 minutes, you go do that a few hundred times, you're going to feel pretty fucking confident when you got to go talk to some boardroom or some chode lawyer or something. You're going to feel real confident about it. You're going to feel real good about yourself. You're going to have a lot more charisma than that guy ever could, you know? So, get yourself around the right people. Make sure you're putting yourself in environments where you're going to have the right wingmen, the right influences, the right mentors that are going to help you, cut that learning curve. And I hate to use that term because, when I was in LA a while ago, I was with Owen and Julian a few months ago, and we kind of had a 90-minute spirited debate about, help them cut their learning curve. Well, saying that, that presupposes that somebody was going to be successful to begin with. It presupposes success. It just means it was going to take them longer. No, motherfucker, if you don't have good coaches and mentors, you're probably not going to be successful. Fucking Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan, he had a team of fucking coaches around them. He had a massive support group. And were those guys going to be on the top of their game without that? That ain't going to happen. That's insane. You're lying to yourself if you think that shit, man. And that stuff will help you cut your learning curve, but more importantly, it'll help you make sure that you actually are successful. And the older you get, man, the more you're going to value your time. And anybody to listen to this, by the time you're 25, you start thinking hey, I got to manage my time a little more wisely. Make sure shit's going to go good for my future. And by the time you're 30, you're real serious about that, And yeah, Danny, I see you on the fucking chat here. Jordan had Tim Grover. Check out the book Relentless. The fucking book is amazing. He worked with a lot of fucking top athletes. You ain't going to be a top performer if you ain't got a top coach, man. Any case, I want to share with you right this moment some fucking dope ass shit that not even a joke is literally is an important moment in RSD history. It's going to be an important moment in your personal life. So I'm going to show you a little video for just a few minutes here and check this shit out. You don't want to drop off, man. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to sum up those things I said earlier. I'm share a lot more content with you. I'm going to tell you about this dope ass shit that you're going to want to be a part of. And I'm going to spend about 15 minutes later. We're going to do some Q&A. And then away from that, I'm going to spend about another 15 minutes just breaking down for you step by step what you can do right fucking now to have tremendously better results this week in pickup. But check this shit out first, man. Gentlemen, for the past few years, I've been traveling the world every weekend, coaching boot camp and training hundreds of men to live the lavish dating lives of their dreams. When I started coaching, I just planned to do a few boot camps over the summer, just for fun and to help clients out a bit because many people requested to work with me, even though I didn't even offer coaching at that time. What I was delighted to discover was that the men that signed up for boot camp with me were the most dedicated and sophisticated men in the RSD community. I'm intentionally off-putting to those that aren't entirely serious about success. This results in me consistently attracting some of the most winning clients on my programs. We just don't spend time with losers. I've trained many entrepreneurs, engineers, finance and businessmen, lawyers, military men, musicians, surgeons, royalty, celebrity, and a whole mob of other very motivated men from all walks of life that I'm honored to now call my friends. I didn't plan for this to happen, but after only a few months of consistent coaching, I quickly became the epicenter of a thriving community of men that share a common goal and motivation, an insatiable drive to fill their lives with an abundance of stunning women and generally live the most amazing life possible. This network has become incredibly valuable. If you ask me today any game, business, health, or fitness question, I can instantly come up with one, if not several experts that I've met through my coaching who can answer me precisely and in an instant. So after a decade of making these valuable connections, I've decided it was my duty to tie this global network together to allow me to expand my coaching beyond boot camp and foster fruitful connections amongst those that share our common goals. I always love when my past clients keep in touch. They invite me to weddings, they send me success stories, including more pornography than I thought I'd ever see in my email. I currently receive about 600 to 1,000 emails every week, which is much more than I reasonably have time to engage with. So I decided to build an ecosystem where the most serious and most dedicated men can engage with me regularly. Not only that, but they will also have the tremendous benefit of engaging with each other, as well as my team of expert assistants. Gentlemen, I bring to you the Brotherhood. Inside this exclusive platform, I will be hosting monthly group coaching calls where you can ask me your questions and get my latest insights on success with women, business, and self-development. Don't worry if you can't make one of the calls. They'll be recorded and archived in the members area to be reviewed later at your convenience. Be sure to stay alert for special guest speakers and mentors of mine that will also be coaching alongside me on select calls. In your members area, you'll have access to direct message me and my superstar team. These are the best trained boot camp assistants in the entire world. These are guys who are out in the field with me every week, not only pulling but closing hotties regularly. These guys are literally giving up threesomes and sex with models on the weekend to come hang out with me and network with the next round of super motivated clients on my boot camp. Additionally, to foster communication amongst fellow brothers, you'll get access to an exclusive forum where you can start conversations, pose questions to the group, find wingmen, get feedback, and connect with trusted allies on your journey to success. I know the immense value of this, and I'll be very active on this forum myself. Going beyond the digital connections, I want Brotherhood members to make a commitment to join us live at the RSD World Summit in Las Vegas, RSD Winter Summit in Miami, and RSD Euro Summit in Europe. Use your Summit Pass and link up with the Brotherhood members for a week of pimping hard in the world's premier game cities. Also, I'm including not one, but 2 Buddy Passes. This will allow you to invite a couple of your closest friends or allies and introduce them to a lifestyle of abundance as well. By building in these accountability mechanisms, the Brotherhood will increase your motivation, increase your dedication, increase your action taking, and most importantly, increase your results to unbelievable levels. These benefits are just the beginning. As the Brotherhood evolves, we'll constantly encourage feedback and solicit advice on how we can make this exclusive group even more valuable. Knights of the Brotherhood members will have even more access to me, including in-person private events, access to my closest friends and mentors, and special exclusive invites, discounts, and giveaways that will not be advertised at all or available to anyone outside of the Knights of the Brotherhood program. The Brotherhood Silver level exists for those who want to be around the cool kids, though there's a lot of value to be had by interacting with accomplished men who are not yet eligible to be gold members because they've not yet been on a Derek boot camp. If you are eligible, it's a no-brainer. You join at the gold level so you can be a full participant. Brotherhood Silver allows you to be on the periphery and kept in the loop, so when you are ready to step up to the big leagues, you can hit the ground running. You'll score goals, hit home runs, hit slam dunks, and live the lifestyle of abundance with women that you know you're truly capable of. The Brotherhood will be a thriving community of men that are aggressively pushing towards top-level success with women and in life. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. The ideas, resources, and ambition that will collide on this platform will be unrivaled anywhere else. I created this platform so I can share my latest and most important insights with our entire tribe of dedicated executors. To ensure this group's success grows to Illuminati-like levels, those who don't contribute on at least a monthly basis will have their memberships revoked and will be banished from the Brotherhood. If you don't want to engage and contribute and grow with the rest of us, leave now. The Brotherhood is only for team players who are dedicated to success. The cost of membership is simply a layer of security like a cover charge to ensure that only those that are dedicated and engaged will be in the Brotherhood. The price isn't to charge great people for access, it's to make sure the wrong people are not allowed access. I want to be crystal clear with everyone in the Brotherhood that every brother you meet has made a firm commitment to the group and is eager to participate and share their value and ensure our mutual success. The revenue generated from the Brotherhood won't even produce a significant return considering the setup, time, and effort this program will require from me and my team. The main payout I'll receive is easier access to and a more active role in the development of the best and most dedicated men I've met on my journey in game. If you're put off by the cover charge, the Brotherhood is not for you. Stay out there. Go hit on dudes in the park and attempt to find your wingman. Get your guidance about women from your buddy Steve at work. I hear he's dating that older fat girl from accounting now. Look, I can trace 75% of my net worth to 3 important people I've met in life. I can trace back half of the sex partners I've ever had to 2 important wingmen who I created amazing adventures with. I can't possibly overstate the value of surrounding yourself with the right people and avoiding the wrong ones. After working with countless men from every background and with every sticking point imaginable, I've discovered exactly what causes massive success and utter failure in attracting women. In the past few years, I've coached more live bootcamp programs than anyone on earth. When you coach as much as I have, the patterns jump out at you. The biggest issue I see with men that fail is they have a burning question in their head, but they don't know what to do. They don't know the path. They are paralyzed by indecision. They don't have someone who has walked the path before and is willing to guide them past the dead ends and around the veiled pitfalls. The second biggest issue is that once they intellectually know what to do, they still don't have the discipline to go execute on that knowledge consistently. Why? Because they're often isolated from others that are on the same path. That's right, they simply don't have the support group necessary to carry on and ensure their success. When you become a Brotherhood member, you'll have access to those guides. You'll always know the next step. This will leave you with no excuse for not achieving tremendous results yourself. When you are engaging consistently with this group and are held accountable by your new peers, failure is not a possible outcome. You'll be more motivated, your execution will be better, and your outcomes will be proportionally better as well. When you join the Brotherhood, you will see your path more clearly, you will take action more readily, and those right actions will lead to your success consistently. Your life is short, man. If you don't value your time, you don't value your life. You need to be around men that want the same thing that you want, men that are pushing in the same direction as you. Otherwise, you're going to get stalled out, man. You'll get knocked off course by some chode friend's agenda. The Brotherhood will give you a global network of dedicated and talented wingmen that no one else on Earth has access to, where you can foster deep and long-lasting alliances and friendships. Look, this is very simple. If you knew better, you'd do better. If you were able to do this by yourself, you would have done it already. If you want optimal outcomes, you'll need to be surrounded by a team of men that also demands the best in life. Stop settling for excuses like you're doing as good as you could be given your circumstances. Change your fucking circumstances. Make a commitment to be the best. Click below and join the Brotherhood now. So look, man. Tap back in. Yeah, you see that. Look. Let that sink in for a minute. I want you guys to go join the Brotherhood right now. I want you to see this link. It's about to pop up on this shit. I want you to go to the website. I want you to join up with us. I'm telling you a lot of dope shit about this. I'm telling you, like, I was getting distracted. I see 20-something. My guy is telling me 20-something guys bought that shit already during the video. 20-something guys decided they're going to be with us already during the video. I want you to click on that. You're serious about having your success. You want to have that type of network around you that's going to make sure that you have the up-to-date information. You know what the fuck is going on, so you're not wasting your goddamn time. So you have fucking the right peer group and support group around you to ensure your fucking success with this. That's what we're doing, man. So I'm not going to do a lot of boot camps in the future. I'm going to do very few. But I want you to fucking make a commitment to that success, to having that support group, to having your life in order and making sure that you can't fail, man. You can't fail when you got that. We're going to have a lot of communication on there. I had a lot of my boot camp alums have signed up already. We made them aware of this like 2 days ago, and a ton of people have already signed up on the gold tier. But check that shit out right now. I'm going to do some Q&A as promised. I'm going to then tell you about the 3 key things you need to be thinking about to dramatically enhance your life this week. And I also want you to know, if you join by purchasing the Brotherhood on this webinar, well, we're here tonight. If you join tonight, not in the future, not next week, not tomorrow. If you join tonight, you're also going to be invited to a special 2-hour plus, maybe 3-hour, we'll see how long it runs, conference call, where I'm going to get on a phone and speak live with you, only for the guys that purchase tonight, only for that select group. I'm going to get on the phone and speak live with you with 1 or 2 or 3 of my best assistants. And we're going to share some of the most important game insights that we had from 2018. And I'm going to answer your questions live to make sure that you can ensure your success when 2019 rolls around, that you're going to finish off this year right. You're going to be on the right path in 2019. You're going to have the best fucking sex year of your entire life. I want you to have sex with more girls in 2019 than you literally had in your entire life so far. That's what my ambition for you. That's my New Year's resolution. If you're serious and committed, I want to help you do that. But let's see about some questions from earlier, questions from now. What do we got? We got, is there a payment plan? Yeah, if you can pay $497 in full today, or there's a monthly option where you can join for $67 a month, $67 a month. That's all for a 12-month minimum commitment. Can I join at the gold level if I've been on Tyler's boot camp previously, but not on yours, Derek? No, man, the gold tier is for guys that have been previously on a Derek boot camp. If you want to be on the gold tier, the Knights tier, that's for people that have previously been on boot camp with me. Those are the guys that I know well. They're the most committed guys. They're the most serious guys that they're fucking already executing hard, having a lot of sex. I literally got guys on here typing about they had sex, and dude in Germany is talking about he just banged some girl and came home and he's checking this out. Other dudes saying if I got a blowjob earlier and it wouldn't have happened if he wasn't on my boot camp. I'm talking to my tech guy. Can you screenshot those and we'll send them? We'll post them in testimonials on the website. But yeah, man, the gold tier or knights tier, that's for people that are they already been on boot camp with me. Those guys are super serious, and we have an exclusive platform only for those guys. So if you've been on boot camp, like that's what you want to do. You want to be, if you've been on a Derek boot camp, you want to be on that gold tier or knights tier. Like, not a question. That's what you want. But yeah, the silver tier is for people that like they haven't yet been on boot camp. Maybe they're not aware of boot camp. Maybe they've been thinking about boot camp, but they haven't done it yet. But you're going to come fuck with us and get on board, so I can help you get your shit in order. You're thinking the right way. We're going to be on calls together. Well, yeah, here's a question about that. Here, let me just address that. Is like, so what exactly is included in the program? So yeah, so you're gonna get monthly coaching calls. You're gonna be on a call with me once a month, where you guys are gonna vote on topics. I'm not gonna pick the topics, man. Like I'm built this platform so I can interact with you guys, so I can help you with your most important shit. So there's gonna be a monthly coaching call where you guys are gonna vote on topics within the platform, and you can submit your own topic. You can vote that up. Whatever has the most votes for that month, that's the topic I'm gonna address in deep detail that month. There's going to be other calls where, we'll call it like, a bonus call where I'm going to bring in, friends of mine, mentors of mine, other RSD instructors. Owen's super excited about this. When I told him about it, he's like, fuck yeah, man. Like super excited about it, So he said he's, super happy to get on with me, do live talks with him, with you guys. Those are going to be extra little bonus things. So you see from Julie and Max, some of the other guys might be on, some of my other friends or mentors. I'll bring those on to, maybe there'll be bonus stuff about business, bonus stuff about other lifestyle things that you're going to be excited about. But those are bonus things. Other stuff is that we're going to record those calls. It's going to be in an archive. So if you're not there live, you can fucking check it out when it's convenient for you, man. And also that, when you want to go back to something and review it again and again, you heard it one time, you want to go check it out a month later, it's there for you. So there's going to be that coaching archive that all those calls are going to be in, where you can go back and check that shit out later. This is a really big one, is like the summit events. It's like the whole point about this is it's the fucking brotherhood, man. It ain't the fucking stay home alone and jerk off by yourselfhood. It's the brotherhood. It's a social platform, man. I want you guys coming to live events with me. I want you coming to fucking Vegas Summit, Winter Summit. Winter Summit's coming up in just a couple months in Miami, man. 3.5 months from now. I want you coming to those live events with me, and you're going to have access to that as my guest when you're on this program. So long as you're enrolled in the program, you're going to have access to come meet me live, come to the fucking dopest public events of the year that we do with RSD at the Winter Summit, Vegas Summit in August, and then the Europe Summit also. Also, as a Brotherhood founding member, you're going to be able to renew your silver membership annually for only $497. So in a couple of days, the price is going to go to $797. It's going to be $300 more, and and if they want to renew, it's going to be at that price. So we're launching the thing right now. We're going to do this is 2019 membership. So we're going to do a call in December. We may or may not do a bonus call in December. But in January, that shit's live and active and rolling out. But this is for people that are serious. You're serious. You're getting in up front, and you're going to have that $497 price for as long as you're with us. You can renew every year for only that $497, or only $67 for the payment plan guys. For people that don't want to put down a lot of cash, but they want to make payments, you can pay $67 if you get on now. But it's going to be $97 after this launch period ends. Other stuff is I'm just going to find other dope shit to bring you guys, just other, special offers, discounts from other instructors. I want you, you guys are going to be some of the most committed guys in the RSD ecosystem. And I just want you to be rewarded for that. So I'm going to work out like special deals with the other instructors to get you some dope shit discounted, get you access to things that other people don't get, etc. And I'm going to work that out as we go, man. But also remember, I'm going to do a couple more questions here, but also remember that for the guys that sign up today, not next week, not someday maybe, for the guys that sign up today while I'm doing this webinar, this webinar is live, I'm going to get you on another phone call. We're going to do, like I said a bit ago, that it's going to be 2 hours or more conference call where we're talking back and forth with each other, not just me talking like now, talking back and forth with each other. I'm bringing some of my most talented assistants on there. We're going to break down in detail, like most important game insights from 2018. Going to answer your questions about that shit. And we're going to help you ensure that 2019 is the most successful fucking dating year of your life. That's only going to be for guys that join during this webinar. When I get off the webinar, that deal is done. Forget about that deal. But sign up right now if you're serious about that shit and you want to talk to me and my best wingman live on a private call only for us. Other questions. What is the Knights tier? Like the Knights tier of the Brotherhood is like, that's the most exclusive group. I'm not going to spend a lot of time promoting that at all or hyping it up. The Knights tier is for guys, they're the real serious, the real dedicated. They want to go do that baller shit. So I'm not even going to tell them what it is. Not even a joke. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Like if you need to know what it is, if you need to know the details, the Knights tier is not for you. So the Knights tier is the guys that like, you know, here in LA, for instance, in the past, I used to go to the Playboy parties. You know, sometimes we paid $5,000 to go to the Playboy parties. Sometimes it cost $5,000 to go there for a few hours. I wish to fuck I'd get off this call right now and go over to the Playboy Mansion if they still had fucking parties like that. It was the dopest shit ever. And the Maxim parties and a lot of other private shit. It's the type of guy that's down for events like that. The type of guy that when I hit up the Knights tier guys, I'm like, hey man, I got invited to this dope ass thing and I can bring a few guests. Fucking come do this shit with me. They're like, fuck yeah, that's for me. And they're going to be there. So those are the guys that I want to fuck with. That's going to be an application process. Just fill out a brief application. One of my primary assistants will contact you probably within 24 hours. We just want to make sure there's good fit, and that's for guys that I'm going to be doing private events with, we have the dinners with, hang out with some of my closest friends, and you getting to know each other on a personal level and just do our thing together, So it ain't for everybody. I'm not going to talk about the details. If you're one of those guys, you know who you are. You want to fuck with the Knights level. If you're not, that's cool, man. That's cool. Most guys can be on the silver level. A lot of guys can be on the gold level. That's cool, man. What else we got in here? We got Derek. I was on your Vegas boot camp this summer. Can't thank you enough for the changes you made in my life and sexual abundance you helped me create. I just submitted my application to the Knights tier. When will I hear back? Yeah, awesome, man. Like I just mentioned that a minute ago. Maybe you already wrote this first, but thanks for your kind words, man. I appreciate that. I'm excited about your success. Give yourself a pat on the back, for the fucking execution. I can point you in the right way, but you went and executed. Just give yourself a pat on the back for that shit, dude. But yeah, one of my guys will holler back at you within 24 hours for sure, man. I see you. I'll make sure to take care of that. What else we got? Derek, I'm on the 497 plan. How can I get logged in? Yeah. So customer support's going to contact you within 24 hours. They're going to get you your login credentials. You get a phone call / email, WhatsApp, text, whatever we have on file for you. They'll contact you for sure 24 hours. And yeah, just correspond back with them. They're going to help you get your screen name, get you set up so everything's perfect. Everything's good for you, man. I'll do some more questions in a minute, but a couple more points that I'd share with you, a couple bullet points that I think would help a lot. It's like, why did I create this? What was the inspiration for that? And it's kind of a couple things. Is like, and one thing is just as simple as this is like, I get spammed with, it ain't even spam. It's like, I get like 600 to 1,000 emails every week and, more than 100 a day on average. And, my guys, these are mostly boot camp clients as they're sending me pictures. I got more pornography. Like someday I could make a book of all the fucking nudie pictures you guys sent me. I like it. I wish you could block out the penises so I didn't have to see everybody's dick when they send me those pictures. That'd be dope. But I just don't have time to respond to that many emails, man. It's like, I have a private business stuff that I run, and I don't have time to spend hours and hours and hours. And I love you guys, and I want to correspond with those guys more. So this is a platform that allowed me where, the guys that are serious, they can come fuck with me, and I can talk with them all the time, in the chat room for the gold level and higher. We got chat room. We got a lot of other features in there that, you're going to be able to direct message me. We're going to be on the chat room. My main assistants are going to be on there. So literally, I can talk to you guys all the time, every week, even. Um, but yeah, man, I need to create that mechanism where the guys that are serious, they got an easy path to come up with us. They got an easy path to spend a lot more time together. That I can give you my coaching, my mentorship, my guidance, because I know those are the guys that are going to go execute on it. And then there's other guys that got a little general question, or say, oh Derek, blah blah blah, but they never been on a boot camp with me. They never made any investment in me, and they're just trying to take something away. It's like, hey, help me with this. I never did anything for you, and probably I'm never going to, Derek, but help me with this. See, I just can't. I can't spend my time writing on to those guys anymore. I know a lot of them are well intentioned. There's a lot of good guys there. A lot of them are really well intentioned, but I just simply don't have time for that. So this is the thing where the most dedicated guys, I'm gonna spend a lot more time with them. I'm gonna invest my thoughts and my energy helping those motherfuckers and hanging out with a lot of you guys, so we can go do dope shit together. And those other guys, like I said in the video, man, maybe they can go hit on some dudes in the park. They can go find their wingman there. Maybe they can go to a gay bar and find a handsome fella to talk to. But they ain't gonna be fucking with us. So that's a self-selection mechanism. That the guys that are serious and committed, I'm here for you. And the guys that are just like, if it ain't worth 67 a month, if it ain't, that's cool, man. Go do something else, no problem. But don't bother sending me that email either. The other thought I had about that is, I talked about this with Ty Lopez before. Somebody that's in my peer group. He and I did talks before here at LA at like the Los Angeles Convention Center, and we talked at some of the same events in Las Vegas a couple times, and we just ran into each other. I don't know, late end of September, first week of October. We were in London. We randomly ran into each other in London, and we're at a dope ass bottle service club, talking shit and being smug like we are. But something he talks about all the time is, Ty Lopez says that you want to be with a group of guys where like, about a third of them are doing better than you, so you can always be learning something new and inspired to keep your hustle up and do more. And about a third of them are on your level, so you can feel comfortable, relaxed, and hang out with those guys and do your thing, feel good about who you are with a group of your peers. And maybe about a third of the guys they're not doing as good as you, but they're out hustling and they're trying hard. They want to be somebody. They want to go do something with their lives. And he says, that also keeps your inspiration up to be thinking that you learn more deeply as a coach. I certainly know that you learn more deeply when I've had to help people with business problems, when I had to help people with their pickup problems, countless times. It really trains your brain and like to cut through the shit and see like what are the key drivers here that get things done and what's the noise, and just get rid of that noise and get to the good shit. So I wanted to model the Brotherhood program after that. That was a thought that was really stuck in my mind, is like, this is a place where guys can go, where you can come get advice from each other, advice from me, advice from a lot of my friends and mentors, just to clear up the noise, man. Just get rid of the fucking noise and have a private place that's not filtered. It's going to be respectful, but it's not going to be politically correct. This is not going to be this is not for safe space, boys. Go suck your thumb somewhere. It's going to be respectful to each other because it's your fellow hustlers, man. It's guys that are out there trying to get it like you are. But you can cut through the shit and say what's up. So I want a platform like that where you can't lose like that, man. I got 100 and something guys signed up between my bootcamp members and my previous bootcamp clients that have signed up already on the Gold or Knights tier. We had our first 2 Knights tier applications approved today, because this was open 2 days ago for my bootcamp guys from bootcamp alums, and this is the first announcement to the public right now. So, man, you can't lose. You surround yourself with a bunch of guys like that been on a boot camp or multiple boot camps. They're out here hustling. They're out here being fucking serious. Like, you can't lose with that, man. You're going to be very successful in what you do. What else we get in here? Let me tell you like a little embarrassing blind spot that I had for a long time. It's like, a lot of guys on boot camp have said shit to me like, either on the boot camp on the last day or, via email. They're like, Derek, like, how do I stay motivated? How do I keep doing awesome shit after the boot camp is over? And, many times, I think I've given a half-ass answer, and I didn't mean to. It's just that's how I was thinking. It was the best information I had at that time, man. And, a lot of guys, like, I've told them, Well, you don't need to fucking stay motivated. You need to be disciplined. And a book I read a long time ago was Brian Tracy's book, No Excuses, and he talks about like you got to do the thing you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not. And that's how you get shit done, and it is. And then another guy that I talk about that with a lot is my good friend Brandon Carter. He says that type of shit. He made a video. Brandon Carter is like a big. If you've been living in a cave and away from the internet for any period of time, Brandon Carter is like a fitness expert and a big YouTuber, also a dear friend of mine. And Brandon, he made a video like, he said, when's the most important time to go to the gym? And he says the most important time to go to the gym is like when you don't fucking feel like it. He says a lot of times he wakes up and like, he don't feel motivated, but he is disciplined. He wake up and be like, man, I don't really feel like it today. And he says, then I remind myself, but I'm also not a pussy. And, you're either going to be, he goes on to explain, you're either going to be building like, boss ass neural pathways where you're becoming more of a champion, like champion neural pathways, where you're engaging in champion behaviors and you're going to become more of a champ. It's going to be easier for you to go do disciplined, tough things. And he points out that like you don't get to build your self-discipline muscle at a time that's convenient for you. You get to do that self-discipline shit by definition only when it's not convenient, only when you don't really feel like it at that moment, And he says you're either going to make a decision at that key moment, you're going to make a decision to be more disciplined and double down, or you're going to be less disciplined, and in which case you're going to build some bitch ass neural pathways, and it's going to be easier for you to be a bitch in the future. Make more bitch ass decisions, be more of a pussy, and generally be a chump or a failure in life. Well, that type of thing really appeals to the way I think a lot of ways. It also appeals to my ego, frankly, which I don't think your ego is your friend in pickup, but I'm just being honest. Excuse me. The one thing about that that I've thought about recently is like, it might be true. Like, if you're like 100% obsessed with one goal, you got your one goal, the one thing, and you probably get pretty good at it, man. You probably get pretty good. You'll get closer to it. You'll be doing a hell of a lot better than most people are if you set that one goal and that's all you do. But there's two main issues with this way of thinking, man. Is like, if fucking Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, fucking all these top performers, these guys were like masters of their skill, masters of their craft. If goddamn RSG Derrick had to go get coaching advice when I was young, if these guys had a team of coaches around them to help them build them up to where they are, like, how the fuck is somebody going to go do that by themselves? You can have all the discipline you want, man. You could, first you use your willpower, and you're going to run out of willpower. If your goals are so small that you could accomplish them just with your willpower, you got to make much bigger goals. Let me say that one more time. If your goals are so tiny that you would be able to accomplish them just using your willpower, man, you're underperforming. You got to make much bigger goals. But first that willpower goes. And then you're going to use your discipline because you're a tough guy and you're going to go do it anyway. And I don't say that with any disrespect. I know a lot of you legitimately are tough men and you're top performers in some area of your life. You're far above average, or you wouldn't fucking spend your time talking with me. But man, you only got so much discipline. And if you're honest with yourself, if you surrounded yourself by other people that were doing the same shit, you probably get a lot farther. And the second problem, by the way, for us mere mortals that are not fucking Kobe Bryant, who are not Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods in their prime, for us mere mortals, you don't have just one goal, man. You guys don't have just one goal and there's nothing else in your life. You probably got 2 or 3 major goals. You're probably working on 2 or 3 major goals that are pretty important to you right now. You're probably struggling on, how do I manage my time? How do I get the optimal outcome here? Focus on those 2 or 3 things. Without after I run out of willpower, after I've used my discipline and feel exhausted, how do I get the optimal outcome? Well, man, the answer is like, you're going to have to find other people that did that before you that can help you, man. They can show you on that path. You're going to have to find other guys that already been down that path and know what the fuck to do. And they say, oh yeah, man, just try this. Oh yeah, bro, that happened to me last week. Oh yeah, dude, that happened to me 1,000 times. Check this out. You need to do it like that, man. So you need to find those people and surround yourself by them. And when you build a social network around you, when you have a fucking literally a brotherhood. Why did I call that program the Brotherhood? Because I want a brotherhood of men that are dedicated to success, dedicated to having a very top performing life. Financial freedom, sexual abundance. I don't say those words loosely. It's like, if I said to a man, if I met a man and he didn't value those two things, it's like financial freedom. Who the fuck doesn't want more financial freedom? I'd like as much financial freedom as I could get. I'd like as much financial freedom as possible. I want you guys to have that too. If you don't value financial freedom, what does that mean, by the way? That doesn't mean greedy capitalism. It just means you have enough money that, everything is going to be okay. Your bills are paid and you have enough wealth that you could spend your time doing the things that you want to do rather than doing things you feel like you have to do. So anybody that doesn't value financial freedom, something's wrong with that guy. And then the other thing is about women. Maybe you're doing great with women, man. A lot of guys suck. I met guys on all over the spectrum. I seen some guys that were, the biggest celebrities in the world that I've hung out with. I've seen some guys who were fucking, homeless at one time and pulled their life up from homeless to came on my boot camp and went on to be very successful with women. And I've seen the whole spectrum, dude. And like, maybe you're doing pretty good already. Some guys suck, some guys are champs, but you wouldn't be on here if you didn't know you could do better. Wherever you're at right now, it might be way above average already, but you could do better. And how is that going to happen? You got to be around other guys that they're already achievers, they're already performing. What can I do better? So that's just fucking very, very important. In just a couple of minutes, I'm going to break down what I promised you of that 15, 20-minute segment of just pure value on what are three key things you could do right now to have fucking better performance this week. But one more thing I just want to put in your head quick is like, I never would have had the confidence with women if I didn't coach fucking over 1,000 men in person on boot camp, if I didn't have tens of thousands of guys in my fucking audience. Right now it's late at night for some people, and there's hundreds of people listening to us right now. Look at the webinar, man. I wouldn't have had the confidence to bring value to you guys, to contribute to your life, and to contribute to the life of a beautiful woman, and make it so I'm her best option if I didn't have a team of great guys around me. Because when I was that little poor kid, literally crying many nights in my bedroom, when I was that little peasant boy, like, man, I had that pain because I didn't have guidance, because I didn't have somebody to show me the way. So I didn't have the right mentorship and the right people around me to make sure that I was doing good. And it's one more brief story, and we'll break into this other content that I promised you. Is like, my one of my business partners today, my main business partner in real estate, he's an ex-football player. He's an NFL player, and he's did excellent in college, obviously, and went on to the major leagues. And he's telling me about a guy he knows that this couple months ago in Vegas. He's telling me about a guy he knows that the guy is, he looks okay, but he's not so smart. And he says, man, the guy just gets laid left and right. He's kind of a dummy, but he just gets laid all the time. He gets laid like 6 times more than a normal guy would. And he says, like, what the fuck is going? Like, why is this guy like 6 times better with women than a normal guy that looks like him? He don't have no money. He's not very smart. What's going on? And I said, man, he's not 6 times better. He's not 6 times better. It's like, think about it in a football analogy. I said to him, it's like, you ain't going to be 6 times, 600% better, man. It's like, the difference between like a college player versus, the professional player, the fucking NFL player, it ain't 6 times better. It's, I don't know, maybe 5%. If you were 5% better, you fucking, that's the difference between a guy that's pretty good and a guy that's absolute champion. But the difference in results ain't 5% better. If you get fucking champion results, your champion results being 5% better. You're gonna have fucking 3 times the results, 6 times the results, just by improving your shit a little bit, man. Why is that true? Because most guys won't do it. Most guys, their ego is too big. They got too many excuses. I always say, if your excuses ain't helping you accomplish your goal, fuck your excuses. If your excuses don't help you accomplish your goal, you wipe your ass with your excuses. Fuck that shit, man. But a few percent better, man. few percent better gets you fucking a multiple of the results you've been getting. All right. Let's dig in. I got a lot more questions here quick, and then we're going to pop this other dope shit out for you. Yeah, I mean, just learn shit sooner than later, man. Like the more you procrastinate, your competition just gets past you. And you want a champion fucking outcome, you got to have the best practice information, and you got to be implementing that. If you don't have access to the fucking best practices, if you're not implementing the best practices, the guys that have that information are going to take advantage of you. So you either know the best practices moment to moment and you're using them, or they're literally being used against you, man. And yeah, that sounds harsh, but it's also true. So decide if you like that, man. Decide who you are. If like you're gonna be one of those guys that's gonna fucking step up and engage in those best practices, build that support team around you, or you're gonna let your competition steal the fucking success you could have had. I think that's sad, man. I don't want that to happen to you guys. So, for you guys that are serious, I want you to go click on this link, sign up, and join us right now. And I'm gonna do a couple more questions. I'm gonna break into the other content I promised you, and maybe we'll do some more questions in a little bit. But a couple more here. So let's see, Derek. I've been on your. Derek. I've been on your boot camp, and I want to join at the gold level. But just to be sure, can I use the Scream name instead of my legal name in the chat room? Because I have a professional job and my privacy is very important to me. Yeah, that's no trouble at all, man. You can share as much of your information or as little as your information as you want to. I mean, all that's important is like, I need to know who's in the chat room. So, I need to know, to be on the gold level, you got to be a previous bootcamp client. So I need to know who's in there. So I know they're qualified to be in there. But yeah, other than that, you can publicly, you be as public or private as you care to be about your identity. I made this platform for guys that are, have a real life. A lot of guys are going to be, professional people. Probably a third of my clients are engineers of some kind of computer nerd or other industrious engineer nerd. And, the rest of them, a lot of them are business guys, military guys, doctors, lawyers, dentists, etc. So over half of my clients are professional people. And, I understand, man, you can't have your name on blast and put yourself in a situation that might compromise the rest of your life. So, yeah, totally cool, man. Do what's good for you, but you can be as public or private as you care to be. I got another gentleman here. What's this? So, hey, man, can you give us some advice about threesomes or dating a lot of girls at once? That would be awesome. Yeah, dude, I'm happy to answer whatever questions you guys want to vote on. You submit those questions to the Brotherhood platform. You're going to find a submit button once you get logged in. You get your login credentials later tonight or tomorrow. So submit those questions on the platform and vote those up. We're going to do a welcome call in December. I'll talk to everybody on the Brotherhood. We're going to do a welcome call then. I point out again that you're buying a 2019 membership. So you're signing up for a 2019 membership. So I'm going to do this bonus call that I promised you guys for the guys that sign up tonight, not next week, not sometime maybe. For the guys that are serious, they sign up tonight. You're going to get that discounted price of $497 if you pay in full. It's going to be $300 more in a few days, or $67 if you need to make monthly payments. That's going to be $97 in a few days. But yeah, you're going to be on that call with me in a couple of weeks. All the guys that are in here, we'll talk about with me and my assistants in a normal live call where we can speak back and forth with each other. What's the dopest insights we had in 2018? How can you implement that shit? And how do you prepare yourself to have the best fucking year of your sex life in 2019? So yeah, I'm all over that. You're going to have that bonus. And then the December, we're going to do a bonus call as well. And then we're going to start this program, January 2019 is our official launch. That's why it's discounted right now. We're making it available to the public today. We're going to get these extra bonuses and start communicating and roll things out. And we're going to have things fully up to speed by January and have full communication on there. Yeah, a couple other bullet points here is like, I got another guy asking about threesomes. Is you guys love threesomes? I love threesomes too. I think threesomes are one of the best things I ever spent my time doing in life. I don't know. The rest of the time was wasted. The rest of the time was misallocated. But how did I do that? Let me address it for a minute. It's like I never would have had fucking 250-ish threesomes without knowing guys who were already doing that already, without getting that advice and watching that lifestyle. How the fuck would that happen? Like, or sit home and watch a video about it? Like, that's retarded, man. So yeah, yes, it makes sense. Like, you're gonna have access to the best mentors. You're gonna get the fucking advice that you need so you can live that type of lifestyle you want. And like, this ain't a hard concept, dude. It's like, when I wanted to get stronger, I went out and got personal trainer. When I outgrew that guy, when I outgrew his skills, I made friends with Brandon Carter. I paid him a lot of money to go to the gym. He's my good friend. He invited me to come for free, man. It's like, no, man, I want to pay you like what a normal client would pay you. And, when I wanted to get good at business, I went to business school twice, and I found great mentors in it. When I wanted to go to business school, I took a fucking prep course, and I paid for guidance on that. It's like, all you guys that already have some good shit going on, you're already successful. Like, you didn't do that by yourself, man. So that's what we're doing here, dude. When I wanted to be involved in entrepreneurial shit, I joined some of the biggest entrepreneur groups in the world. I networked my way in, paid whatever it cost. And, because of that, I hang out with presidents. I've been on like boat cruises with Richard Branson, Ted Turner, Mark Cuban. I've hung out different times with Gary Vee or Russell Simmons, etc. Tim Ferriss. And, I could name drop a lot of people, but, I got around a lot of celebrity people and a lot of fucking, champions and winners because, I was living the right type of life. I was serious about my success. I surrounded myself with the right people. And, you'd be surprised how quickly that can spiral up. If you're doing some chode shit, you're going to have a chode outcome. If you're doing some champion shit, you're going to have a champion outcome. But you ain't going to be a champion by yourself, man. Nobody in the history of the world ever did that by themselves. When I wanted to get good at pickup, man, I took 3 boot camps. I paid for 3 boot camps as a client because I broke up with a girl. She was causing a little fuss in my life. And, she's a good girl in a lot of ways. Beautiful girl. Legitimate 9.5 anywhere on earth. But she's just a little bit of a crazy bitch too. So, she'd come home, she'd be drunk once in a while and cause some disruptions in my personal life. I just thought that was entirely unacceptable. I got to take a drink here. One moment, gentlemen. She would cause these little disruptions in my personal life. And, I'm trying to fucking have a business meeting or I'm going out to dinner, a couple's dinner with my most important mentor at the time. And this crazy bitch comes home drunk for no reason. So, I had to break up with her, obviously. But, if I'm honest with myself, I couldn't do that by myself at that time. And I'd already known Nick and Owen for like 4 years. I called Owen the day I was thinking about breaking up with that girl. I talked to him and I was like, hey man, I need to arrange like a couple boot camps for me. I'm gonna break up with this girl, but I want to do like a couple of one-on-one boot camps. And he's like, no man, like we'll just go teach boot camp together. Because I already had sex with 100 girls or so by that time in my life. And he says, we'll just go teach boot camp together. It'll be great. I'm like, no man, like I need that personal attention to get me back on track because I've been dating this girl for like 28 months. And, we had a lot of threesomes together. She was beautiful. She had a very, very pretty friend we had threesomes with way more than 100 times. To break up with that, I was just being honest. I was just like, well, it's going to take me a year or two to find another situation where I have 2 girls in my bed that look like this, that want to please me the way that they do. And we have the right social fit, man, to the right compatibility. So, that shit didn't happen accidentally. Because I paid for those 2 boot camps. I took one 2 weeks after I threw her out of the house. I took another one 2 weeks after that. And that really got me on the right path quick, man. And then later, like 4 months later, I took a 3rd one-on-one boot camp. And, why did I do that? Like I could have come and done it for free, man. I could have done it for free. I don't want free. I want pay. I want people that are committed professionals to focus their attention and help me get something done. And like, I mean, think about in your own life. Like, would you rather say you need to have like some LASIK eye surgery? Like, do you want free LASIK eye surgery? Or do you want like $5,000 LASIK eye surgery from a well-trained professional? Maybe Joey could like put a laser on your eye and do it for free. Some dude named Joey with a random laser can do it for free. Or you want to pay 5 G's to have a trained professional help you with your eyes? Of course, man. So you can't be fucking around with your life like that. Take things seriously. Just be smart and do the right things. I've looked at this. When I thought about pricing this, we didn't put prices on this to block guys out. I'm not trying to fucking have the good guys and block them out. I wanted to price it enough. I just think of it like a cover charge. It's like, you're paying a cover charge if you're serious and committed. You go to the best venues. Why do you go to the best venues? Why do you go to the best nightclubs? Why do I pay 20 something, 30,000 a year for like entrepreneurial clubs, like, expenses to just be able to hang out with some dudes? Why do I do that? Well, because that's where the best guys are. And you know what? The guys that are willing to pay that cover charge to go to the best clubs, why do they do that? Oh, because that's where the best women are. Because the best women went there to meet the best guys. And it's just a cover charge. A cover charge is your friend. A cover charge is like, it's something that's sufficient to keep out people that would lessen the group, keep out people that are not committed, that aren't fully engaged, fully serious, but it's still low enough to make sure that, the right people, the people that belong there, they can come right in. Then you've got to give it a second thought. They're just like, yeah, for sure, that shit's for me. That shit's for me. So that was my thinking on that. Let me go ahead and tell you guys what I promised you earlier about the 10 Commandments stuff. Look, out of 10 Commandments is like that program. I'm not here to talk a ton about that program, but I'm going to create one digital program ever. That's it, and that's the program, and it's mostly done. And we're doing a lot of animation. It's going to be it's just going to be amazing. If you knew how many hours I spent on it, you'd want to give me a hug. You'd feel bad. But that's the work of like 16 years of my life in pickup, coming from really not much, coming from a pretty sad place, and training up some of the best instructors, the current RSD instructors, the former RSD instructors, a lot of my clients that went on to have tremendous success. We literally changed evolution. I literally changed evolutionary history. And maybe that sounds grandiose to you, but hear me out on it. Is the things that I did, it influenced millions of guys. It influenced their sex lives, helped them have tremendously more sex, helped them get girls they never would have got. Some of these guys, many of these guys would have settled for a lesser woman. Some of them would have never had a woman. And I helped change fucking evolutionary history and help those guys, because they did the work, man. I just pointed them in the right direction. I just pointed them in the right direction. I didn't hold their penis and put it inside. I just helped them get to where they wanted to go and let them know what to do. But they were executors. They deserve the credit. But the things that I taught those guys, the things that I taught some of you guys that are listening right now, that's what I concluded in that program. And one key driver, the key thing I'm going to tell you right now, we'll spend 15, maybe we'll spend 20 minutes on it. You see, I'm long-winded. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you want, you can't have that shit. Never, ever. You can't accidentally have the best shit in the world. The world's not crazy enough to go around rewarding people with shit they don't deserve. So, that don't mean you have to work a lot harder. A lot of you guys, I said this 6 times, but it's true. A lot of you guys are already far above average. You already have a great life. You already got a lot of great things going on in your life. I get that. The thing is, back to the value versus marketing problem, is like a lot of guys have high value, but their marketing is shit. Their communication is shit, man. A lot of guys, they got a good education, they got the right job. It's sad as hell. You did everything right, and then you go talk to the girl and she fucking laughs at you or brushes you off, and you see her go home with some loser instead, and somebody that you objectively are sure that is a loser, and that's really fucked. Any case, here's those 3 bullet points that literally would change your life if you implement these 3 things. I suggest you do 2 things. I suggest right now you click on this shit and you get yourself involved in the Brotherhood, so you can have all the bonuses, all the stuff that we're offering. Some of that's exclusive only to this webinar, and this webinar ends, you won't get it anymore. So I think the first thing you should do is that. But the 3 things you need to do that I promised you that I would share is that, number 1, you need to answer 3 questions. Question number 1, what kind of man am I? This sounds dull. If you don't have, if your IQ is below 85, you won't be able to understand the brilliance of this. So you could just drop off right now. Now, it's not going to be exciting, but it's going to change your fucking life if you do this. What kind of man am I? That's not a question. That's not a nice question. That's not a question that you say, oh, I'm noble and caring and loving. It's a question that you should answer yourself from a very selfish perspective, from a very animalistic perspective of, what sort of creature am I really? Not what your mommy and daddy wishes you were, Not what your last girlfriend said was nice. She wanted it her next boyfriend. None of this fucking stupid gay filtered down, watered down shit, man. It's like in your core, who are you really, man? What do you really want to do with your life? What is your nature? Is a human animal? Is a mammal whose ancestors survived? I'm not a biologist. There's certainly some biology nerd on here that knows this better than I do, but things I believe to be factual is uh, mammals existed for about 350, 400 million years, and Homo sapiens, our little offshoot of mammals, 300,000 years. So we're not asking this question from a perspective of like our modern culture, of like, what does society say I'm supposed to be? What did my mommy tell me I'm supposed to do? What did I see on some bullshit news network? More concerned about their fucking advertisers than their customers. It's just disgusting. Um, what were your evolutionary ancestors like? Because most of you guys out there, most of you have an ancestor that is probably a killer, probably killed somebody. Almost assuredly, you have an ancestor that's a killer, probably several. You got ancestors that did all sorts of things that aren't polite in current society. But that's part of your human nature, whether you want it to be there or not, man. And I think denying that stuff, denying that more animalistic side of your true identity, your biological identity, man, the guy who does that, that's called a fucktard. The scientific name for the guy who's willing to deny science, deny evolutionary pressures of 300,000 years being a Homo sapien, of 350, 400 million years as a mammal, and the billion years that came before that whatever sludge we evolved out of, some fucking amoeba or protozoa or whatever the fuck. If you're going to deny more than a billion years of evolution, and you think the current cultural climate you live in is supposed to dictate your identity, you're already fucked. So get that shit out of your head immediately and take a note on this. And I really want you to spend time reflecting, not casually. I want you to take it very seriously. And I want your emails. I want you to write me on the Brotherhood. I take that back. I don't want your emails. You're going to write me on the Brotherhood, and you're going to tell me how fucking awesome that it made your life, that you actually sat down. You actually sat down for 2 days. 2 days is what's going to take you to sit down and write out question number 1. What kind of man am I? Now, question number 2 is, given that nature, given what kind of man am I, what kind of life do I want to live? And this is not something fucking nice. It's not something, it might be nice. It might be nice. That's really sweet. If it's nice, that's really sweet. Real sweet. It doesn't have to be nice. Given your nature, in your most selfish thoughts, what do you want most in your life? What are the things that you want to say yes to? And you might as well, while you're at it, if you want to say yes to something, if you want to have something in your life, you might as well make a list of the things that you're going to have to say no to. What are the things that I will have to say no to be able to say yes to the things that I want most? And if you want to say yes to more things, you know what you need? It sounds self-serving, I know, but it's the truth. You know what you need? You need more mentorship. You need somebody to help you. You need someone to help you so you don't spend a lot of time on any one of those things. You don't spend unnecessary time. Might be a lot of time. But you don't spend unnecessary time. You don't waste your fucking time. Because you know what, man? All your life is a fucking accumulation, a series of those moments that you could choose to execute and advance your goals, or you could choose to just let those moments go by, in which case somebody else is executing, and they're going to get the success. They're going to get the outcomes that you could have had. And I do mean you, the outcomes that you could have had. The outcomes that you could have had if you valued your time, you took things seriously, and you got the best mentors to accomplish your goals. I'm not here to tell you what your fucking goals are. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I want you to set your goals. I want you to think, what kind of man am I? Second, what kind of life do I want to live? Right? And then you set your goals and make sure you're achieving those fucking goals. Make sure you're achieving those fucking goals. If you don't achieve those goals, if you're not out there executing daily, micro executing, moment to moment thinking, what else could I do right now? What else could I do right now to make things a little bit better? If you're not doing that daily, the guys who are, they're going to go past you, man. They're going to go past you. They're going to fuck your wife, literally. If that hurts your feelings, tough shit. They're going to literally fuck your wife. They're going to take the girl that you could have had. You could have had a better wife who would have been faithful to you, but she's not going to stick with you because you're not an executor. So they're going to take the girl that you could have had. You're going to share the girl that you do have with some fuckboy loser that's just more fun, but more congruent about who he is, less wishy-washy. And it ain't going to be a good thing, man. So you want to think deeply. Question number 1 again, what kind of man am I? And question number 2, what kind of life do I want to live? And very, very importantly, to avoid some of the negative things I said a moment ago, is question number 3. Is, given what kind of man am I and what kind of life do I want to live, you got to answer for yourself, who would be the best companion for that life? Who would be the best companion for that life? And now you're really onto something. If you have the answer to those 3 things, and I'll unpack the third one, but if you have the answer to those 3 things, you can walk through the world with the confidence of like, I know who I am, I know what I want, and I'm going to go do that shit. And you have a lot more clarity. You have a lot more fucking clarity about, is this something that's a good use of my time or a bad use of my time? Is this an appropriate course of action? Am I engaging in an appropriate behavior that would help me accomplish my goal? Or am I just fucking letting the moments go by while my competition gains strength over me, prepares to fuck me in my ass? 3 questions. What kind of man am I? What kind of life do I want to live? Who would be a good companion for that life? Who would be the best companions for that life? Why do I say that plural? Because this applies to your business partners. It applies to people that you're going to be doing business with. It applies to your allies and colleagues, whether that's at work or just in your personal affairs. Who are the right guys that would be a good ally or colleague for you? Who are the right guys that might be a business partner for you? Who are the right guys that would be your best friend that really has your back, thick and thin has your back? And, then on the girl side, it's like, if you don't know who you are and you don't know what you want, you can never have it. You can never have it. And that's why these guys get blown out. That's why some of you guys had problems. It's not a value problem. It's not that you suck. It's that you don't know how to communicate the fucking value you already have. It's the saddest thing I see every week. It's the saddest fucking thing I see every week. Every week, I got amazing guys show up on my boot camp. Some of you guys, literally. Some of you guys, and some of the most amazing guys I've met in my damn life, they show up and they have amazing jobs. Some of the guys that signed up for the gold tier yesterday, I know all these guys because you have to be a boot camp alum to join. So I'm looking through the list, and there's like hedge fund manager, a professional athlete dude, several finance type guys, many engineers, a couple doctors, a surgeon, dentist, a couple military guys. One of them is quite high ranking. A lot of other guys, all walks of life, but professional poker player dude signed up. You get around those type of people. These are people that they know their identity. They have high value. They pretty much know who they are, what they want, but they're not good at fucking communicating it. But when you get those 3 things in order, let's unpack the third one. Who would be the best companion? Don't spend your time with girls that are not compatible, bro. And I'm not here talking about idealism of like, oh, Derek said I could only fuck girls if it's the perfect girl. If she's 10 out of 10 perfect, then it's okay. No, dude, I'm not a fucking idealist, okay? Idealism is called idealism instead of realism because it's not fucking real. It's not fucking real. So idealism isn't going to get you shit. You're an idiot if you're thinking that way. You're probably not thinking that way. But if you got a stupid friend who is, slap his little ass, slap his little baby ass. Any case, when you have it, clear in your head of like, who are the girls I should be spending time with? Who are the girls who would absolutely not be a good use of my time? And it doesn't mean that you only have the 100% out of 100% girl. Maybe you go have a one night stand with a girl that's 68%. Maybe you go have maybe you got a fuck buddy that's 84% of your ideal girl, 84% of what you wish she was. But God damn it, don't make a relationship out of that. Be smart enough to realize like this isn't the right fit for the long term. This is a girl that could be a placeholder. She could be a bookmark in my life until I find the right woman and move on to the next chapter. But don't start turning her into a girlfriend. When she's 60 or 80%. The girl that you want to be spending time with long term, like, you should be getting along. It should be about 98% fitment. You should be doing whatever the fuck you want to do about 98% of the time. And maybe about 2% of the time your life is spent in compromise. But if you're one of these poor bastards that, no, Derek, my mommy told me relationship's supposed to be 50-50. Everything's supposed to be give and take. Well, dude, if you want to spend half your life in compromise, then follow that advice. But I think that's disgusting and miserable, and it's beneath what's available to you, man. It's beneath what's available to you. You can do tremendously more. Now, again, my advice, I want you to do this for the next couple days. I want you to the next 3 days, and I'm not even joking. This is exactly your game plan. It's like, I want you to sign into this program right now and join us, like many other guys did. Let me see how many we got over here. We got a fucking lot. I want you to sign in and join us, like many guys already have. Several dozen here. I'm checking the information right now. Jesus Christ, pages of it. I don't know the number. There's, 80, 90 guys that are on here signed up already. I want you to join those group. I want you to join the group of guys that signed up yesterday. We have a couple hundred guys on this platform. They're the most committed, the most serious guys. Then what I want you to do, I want you to get your login credentials before you do the third thing I'm going to tell you to do, which you might find humorous, but if you do it, it'll change your whole fucking life. It won't cost you anything, and it'll change your entire life. Step number 1, join this program right fucking now. Step number 2, get your login credentials for the program. Step number 3, I want you to go spend 2 days in isolation. And I mean isolation. I want you to spend a couple days by yourself, without your phone, without your computer. I want you to have a couple pens, a notepad, and just go sit by yourself. If you want to be real clear, about what it is you value in the world, what it is that would be the key drivers that, first would help you define your success. First, you need to define your success. It doesn't mean it has to stay that way all the time. It means it's your best plan right now. If you wake up tomorrow and you get some new information, you can modify that plan. It doesn't mean that you're going to make a plan and you have to follow that precisely for the rest of your life. That's called an idiot. It means you're going to fucking define a plan, so at least you have a game plan, because then when you go talk to a girl, you're not a leaf in the wind. You know who you are. You know what you want. You know what type of girl is the right type of girl for you. You know what type of girl would be a total waste of your fucking time. When you find that girl that's a waste of your time, you should find that out in 2 minutes, by the way. Not 20 minutes, not 30 minutes, not 30 minutes that ends in nice to meet you. In a couple minutes, you should be able to understand, is this the right type of girl for me? Is this the type of woman that, I don't know, maybe I'd hook up with her tonight if she's fun. But it really puts you in the driver's seat. It gives you control over what the hell's going to happen in that relationship, or if there's even going to be a relationship. And girls that otherwise wouldn't have liked you, when they see that confidence and surety, when they see that you're the type of guy, he knows who he is, he knows who he wants. Well, girls that would have been on the fence or would have said no, well, now that's the girl that's going to go hook up with you. That's going to be your one-night stand girl or your new fuck buddy. And also the girl who would have been your ideal girl, now you're communicating clearly to your target market. And that girl that would have been your ideal girl, she knows she's supposed to get on board. It's going to be real easy for her when you see her, when you meet her. It's going to go from open to sex very quickly. So step number 1, join this program immediately. If you haven't already, get your fucking credit card, get your fucking Bitcoin, whatever. Get on this program so you're not left behind from the fucking 200 guys that are serious and are on here already. This is launch day, by the way. You're going to have the most special bonuses now. We're going to have this promoted for the week, but the price is going to go up in a couple of days and the bonuses are going to go away. As soon as I'm done speaking here, some of those bonuses are gone. So I want you to be on that phone call with us. Fuck, you want to be on that phone call with us. It's vital to you to be on that phone call with us in a couple of weeks so you can hear a lot more. If the content on here was useful, imagine if I'm not talking about sales of any kind. I'm just talking about, hey, man, here's the fucking most important shit that me and my team learned all fucking year. Here's how you can apply it. Oh, by the way, what are your goals for 2019? So when you're on board in the Brotherhood, we're already on our path to helping you achieve those goals before the fucking new year even starts. So join that program right now. Get on board with us. Then, get your login credentials. And this week, spend some time in isolation, probably 2 days. That sounds crazy to some of you. Some of you guys won't spend 2 days to change your life. If you spent those 2 days, it'd give you such clarity. It'd give you such more confidence of like, who am I? What do I want? And then, I'm here to help you with that other part, man. I'm here as like, well, you're going to think through who's the most ideal girl, who are the most ideal people for me to spend my time with. And I'm going to be here to guide you and coach you and mentor you and help you find those people and help you communicate your legitimate value that you already have. You probably don't even have to be vastly different, man. Your communication style probably has to change a few percent. If you were a 5% better communicator, you would more than double your income in 12 months. If you were a 5% better communicator, you would triple or quadruple or 10x your fucking sex life in the next 12 months. If you keep doing the shit you've been doing, you're gonna get the same results, man. So answer these questions so you have clarity for your life. Then let me help you get onto those next steps. Help you build that, burn that in, give you exactly a fucking blueprint on what needs to be done, how to communicate the value you already have, how to make yourself more useful to others. So when you want something, it's real easy for people to give you what you want. So you can have better friends, more committed relationships, and just dope ass bitches that are hitting you up and chasing you instead of you trying to chase them. Now I got to get a drink of water here again, and I'm going to get some more questions. Send in a few more questions for me. What are the best questions we got here? Give me one moment, gentlemen. All right. Now, what do we got? Is this program for beginners as well? Dude, this program is for anybody that has a pulse and a dick and they're willing to execute. So it doesn't matter where you're at right now. I had guys on boot camp that were such beginners. They were in their 40s and still a virgin. And I got them making out with girls on boot camp and they lost their virginity within the month. I had another guy that was a 38-year-old virgin, and I had him playing with titties on boot camp, and he lost his virginity on the second night of boot camp. So if you want to talk about a beginner, God, if you're 19 and you're a virgin, be grateful. But yeah, wherever you're at right now, this program isn't about, are you a beginner or pretty advanced? Wherever you are, if you remember what I said earlier, I want people on there. They're all stages. The key thing that I want is executors. So this program is for executors. So if you're a beginner and you're an executor, this is for you. If you're somewhere in the middle and you're a fucking executor, this is for you. You're going to get to advanced. If you're an advanced guy and you're an executor, this is going to get you the fucking skills. Like you're going to be in touch with the most elite guys. You're going to be in touch with a legitimate peer group, like a group of your peers, like exists nowhere else on earth. So, when I think of like, what would I pay for one good wingman? I had two wingmen in my life. My most important wingman is damn near, I don't know, 40% of the girls I ever had sex with in my life, I picked up with one of those two guys with me, man. So yeah, wherever you're at makes no difference. I'm here to help you. Happy to help a guy that's fucking, I got guys that come on boot camp with me all the time in Europe, Australia, Canada. They're like 18 years old. If you're 18 and you're a fucking executor, you're going to do fantastic. You're going to do fantastic. If you're any age and you're not going to execute, I can't help you. It's not a magic pill. This ain't some magic pill shit. If you're serious about your execution, I got you. But it doesn't matter where you're at right now. It matters where you want to be. So if you're willing to work on it, no problem, man. It's another guy asking about how do I find a wingman through the Brotherhood. So man, if you can't find a wingman here, forget about it. So these are going to be the guys that are come on my boot camp. If maybe you don't know this, it probably isn't a public thing. I'm the most in-demand boot camp instructor. Owen said that on a little IG post he put out yesterday, and it's true. It's like I'm the most in-demand boot camp instructor in RST, and I do just about zero marketing. I do about nothing to let people know who I am. People know who I am. That's why you're on this fucking webinar right now. There's a reason people come to me for help with this shit, man. It's like nobody has better trained people. There's a reason Owen asked me to train the new instructors. When a new instructor comes on, they work with Owen. They work with me. I don't need to sell you on that. That's just reality. So there's a reason that happens, man. Whatever city you're in, there's some guys that have been on a Derek boot camp. They're the best trained fucking guys out there, and they want to be in touch with each other. And that's why with very little marketing, we got a lot of people. We got over 200 signups already in this program in the middle of this week. So yeah, you're going to have access to a global wingman network. You're going to be able to interact with those guys. If you're on the gold level or higher, you can have, you can DM them, you can private message them, whatever, no worries. I would be in the group chats, no worries. So we're going to be talking about a lot of dope shit, and I'll be pumping out my best content to this group. But you're going to have no trouble finding a fucking wingman. That's literally the point of what we're doing here, man. Different question. Are you able to transition from silver to gold? Yes, for sure. If you come on a boot camp, no problem. We'll get you, we'll work out the details, but the key indicator, can the guy come on gold? Whatever money you paid for silver, we'll put that towards your gold membership, no problem. So if you're, you got to be on a boot camp first. So if you're not on the boot camp, that's for guys that are super committed. That's for the best guys. If you're one of them, get on board. There's no barrier to entry. Just get on board. The prices are cheap enough that like a normal guy who's serious can get on. So if you're one of those guys, it's no trouble. Just put a deposit on a boot camp. Get on the fucking Brotherhood Gold, and no problem at all, man. We'll get you fucking hooked up. You can be on gold right now. Put a deposit on a boot camp, and you can be on gold right now. What else we got here? Payment plan for gold members. You know what, man? I had several guys write me about this earlier today. I had guys from Australia and Europe, and a couple of guys from the U.S. too. They were hitting me up asking about that. We put that the gold membership. We can do a payment plan on it, man. Let me see what's good. Send me a private email just to remind me, and then Owen and I want to do it. We want to make it so if a guy wants to be on the gold plan, he's serious, but he just doesn't plan on making that purchase this week, so he can make a payment plan on it. Yeah, man, I want to help guys do that. So if that's your question, or if somebody else shares that question, yeah, just send me just a brief email. Interested in payment plan on gold. And Owen's already approved this. There's 5 of us on the board of directors of this company. That's Owen and I, Nick, and 2 other men. So I need to get the approval of a 3rd person, and then we can put it through. So we'll work it out, man. But send me a private email to remind me. Just a few words. My email is Derek, DEREK, Derek at realsocialdynamics.com. And yeah, man, I'll look out for you. We'll figure it out. What else we got here? So if you do silver, because you haven't been to a boot camp, can you get the 3K deal once you go? Yeah, I think I just addressed that. If you're on boot camp, if you come on boot camp, we'll work it out, man. So no problem at all. Just go register for the boot camp so we know where you're committed. Put a fucking deposit down so we know that you're 100% committed to the boot camp, and then you can pay for the gold today. It's no trouble, man. Start at 67. Can we go to the other price for 497? I haven't thought of that one, but yeah, we can make it work, man. If you want to start on the monthly thing, but since you're getting in early on it, yeah, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to get you upgraded to the other one and still help you, with that discount. So shouldn't be a thing. A couple other bullet points. Go ahead and send a few more messages. We still got hundreds of guys on here. Send a few more key messages, and I'll do some more Q&A in just a moment. But a couple other key bullet points that would be very useful to you in a game context, just pure content, is like, without having that clarity about who you are and what you want, you're just a leaf in the wind, man. It's like one of my buddies is like, he was a strength training coach, and he said, he's like a jacked guy, master's degree, but, he said a lot of girls, because he's strong and like, he's a pretty good looking guy, it's like, oh, just some guy, or just a guy. He calls it a jag, G-A-G, a jag, just a guy. Oh, just a guy. It's like a guy she's fucking until she finds somebody else. And like, that's fine. I mean, it's not a bad place to be in, but, if you got random feelings, you got all these feelings for random girls without checking for that fitment, man, she ain't gonna have no feelings for you. You're gonna be just a guy, man. And you got to have that clarity of thought. What kind of man am I? What kind of life do I want to live? Who's the best companion for that kind of life? And when you have that, now that puts you in a buyer's frame where you're gonna have the girl on your terms, or you don't want her at all. And you can't be appealing to every girl, bro. You're not gonna be appealing to every girl. You're gonna have to fucking decide who you are, be more clear about that. And look, there's some guys are real young, or some guys are older and haven't thought about it much. It's fine, man. It doesn't matter. But like, think about it today, for fuck's sake. Think about it right now. Like, how is that fucking life going to look down the road? And if you don't know who you are, what you want, you can't have it. You can't have it. When you do know who you are and what you want, what you're going to find is you very sincerely, you don't even want like 90% of women. When you go to the club after you have that clarity, you're not looking around for just some girl. It's like you have a vision in your mind of like not only her appearance, but you're gonna go talk to every girl that has that appearance. It looks like a hot girl, but you also have it in your head about like, her personality, her fitment to get into your life and like and integrate herself into your life, get onto your path, and you have fucking better time together, man. And you got to think about that as like you're not here to be like a fucking an alchemist of girls. So you're a prospector, man. We're prospectors. We're not alchemists. You're a prospector. Let me define that. It's like a prospector is somebody who's like panning for gold, panning for gold. A prospector isn't trying to turn a turd into gold. An alchemist is trying to turn, lead into gold or turd into gold. Man, you got to go sift through the muck, go see, find the fucking dopest girls out there, get in her face, interrupt her life, convey your fucking personality and identity, which you can't do if you didn't answer those 3 questions. And then fucking, she's going to self-select at some portion or some point. Is like, is that fucking appealing and exciting? She's going to let you know. If it's not, probably in a couple of minutes, you should be on to something else. It's going to be a better opportunity. But don't spend your time trying to turn a turd into gold. All you're going to get is shit on your hand, bro. We don't fuck around with turds here. Get a nerd, not a turd. I'll say that again because I think it's hilarious. Get a nerd, not a turd. What else we got here? Other bullet points. Like if you can't push a woman, you cannot push a woman into doing what you want her to do. Like you got to create enough gravity around you, man. How do you get the girl? This other question on here. Like, how do I get girls chasing me, Derek? So, man, you got to create enough gravity around yourself that she's excited. There's an opportunity for her to meet a man like you. And again, that ain't so hard, man. That's like, it ain't like you got to change your whole life. It's probably like changing your communication skills a little bit. And, maybe changing 5% of between your communication and your current competency is, a 3% change, a 5% change would make a tremendous difference in the way girls are looking at you and the way girls are treating you. And again, why? Well, the greatest gift that we have in pickup guys is most guys suck. And most of them aren't doing anything about it. Most of them are fucking fence sitters. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they want. They have no fucking game plan for their life. They're just chill, bro. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, just chill, bro. Video games, weed. Yeah, smoke that weed. Sit on my fucking ass and play a video game like a retard. The best gift that motivated guys got is that most guys aren't so motivated. Most guys aren't motivated, man. They're just letting their life pass them by. And if you're just if you're doing a few percent better with the right coaching, the right guidance, your results are going to be exponentially better. It's not going to be a little better. It's going to be tremendously better. So, man, let me show you how to build that kind of lifestyle of raw attraction so you can get in her fucking head and get in her bed. Because if you can't control a girl's mind, you ain't going to control a girl's body. And, it ain't fucking magic, bro, but you can take all the pain can go away pretty easy, really. It's like the burden's always going to be on a man to like interrupt her life and like, push her onto a better path. But, you're not going to date a girl if your value isn't higher than hers. You can't date her. And probably in a lot of cases, man, every one of you would have seen this. In a lot of cases, your value is higher, but you're no fucking good at communicating it. You're a smart guy. You got a great life. You got above average everything, except you can't talk to women worth a damn, or you're doing mediocre at it, or you're doing good, but you could do a lot fucking better. And the a little difference in your communication skills, a little difference in your thinking, a little difference in your behavior. If you change your thoughts, it's going to change those behaviors. If you change your behaviors, it's going to change your outcomes. And just for those couple little tweaks, those couple little changes, what would make you look a lot more valuable, would make you stand out in a very positive way to the type of women that you want to fuck with. And guess what you're going to do? You can go have sex with those girls, man. So you're going to end up dating exactly the quality woman that you're willing to walk away from. You can't date a girl that has higher value than you do. She's just going to leave. But you can't communicate your value more effectively. You can get your confidence up a lot higher, and then she can chase you, and then she's going to come fuck with you, man. But I'll do a couple more questions. I want to say, for guys who are here, it's like I really want to compliment you again. Like, you guys are serious. I look so forward to helping some of you guys like get from where you are to where you want to be, closing that gap. It's like this RSD shit has been like the most exciting hobby in my whole fucking life. It's probably the thing I've been most passionate about in my life is like yeah, having sex with a lot of girls and having dope ass relationships, but also the relationships that I built with men that I met on boot camp, that I met in audiences and I got to know well over time. Um, Man, more than half of my friends in the world, came from this weird little pickup subculture. And if you think about what pickup is, game, some retard that don't know any better talk about his game or his pimping. Well, what does that mean, man? It's like, what good game? Good game is like a function of like having a good understanding of pragmatic psychology, understanding how the other humans are thinking, understanding the stupid shit that's going on in your own head, so you can manage your emotions better and make more intelligent, solid long-term plans. And what else is involved in that game? It's three things too. It's that component. It's the be a good psychologist component. And what else is it? It's like also be a good economist. Making intelligent decisions about how to spend your time, how to spend your life, and not squandering your existence in opportunities that are not befitting a man of your stature. If it's not good use of your time, get the fuck away from it. And those girls that you walked away from, a lot of those will chase after you because she's not used to that. Now, that's not a technique. It's got to be sincere. It's just like, oh, I don't think that's for me. And you go talk to another girl, and that first girl should be chasing after you if you did that. She'll be trying to sell you, man. That changes everything. And the third thing is like how to be a better communicator. How if I touched on this earlier, man, but if you were a 5% better communicator, you'd probably fucking double your income and certainly multiply your success with women. So it's just communicating the value that you already have, making good use of your time, being a better psychologist, and then surrounding yourself with a peer group of guys that are thinking like that, so you can be exchanging ideas and stories and learning every day, internalize that shit quickly. So a few months from now, you can be a fucking cold pimp. That you want to talk about, you want to say an egoic comment, you can be a pimp later. But if you want to, if you want to live that type of lifestyle where you got an abundance of girls and girls chasing you, man, and the best thing I could tell you is fix those three things, and then build a fucking peer group around you. So those other things around you, I can give you the guidance on that. But this is the opportunity to build that peer group. Have a support system around you that's going to ensure that level of success, man. So, look, man, it's not even a question. There's still hundreds of guys on here listening. You can see the number up top there. More than half of the guys that signed on, you're still here a couple hours later. And like, it's not even a question. Like you already know I can help you get a couple levels higher. Well, let me ask you, man, who here does know? Who knows? If you spent time with me, if you spent time with a group like the Brotherhood of the most dedicated guys, the most serious guys that are going out all the time, if you had access to awesome wingmen, if you had access to talk with me regularly, if you were coming to Vegas Summit, Miami Summit, etc., for free as my guest, as a Brotherhood member, coming for free as my guest, who here already knows that would change your life in a very fucking positive way? If you know that would change your life, I want you to type hell yes. Another hell yes, please. If you know that if you were spending time with me, with my best assistants, hanging out with Owen, hanging out with the other instructors at Summit, listening to us through the Brotherhood platform, meeting us live, etc., who knows that would change your life for the fucking better in a tremendous, tremendous way? Yeah, I see those pouring in, man. I see them. I see you, Sector. Shout out to Sector. I see you, Paul. I see a ton of you motherfuckers in there. I can't even pronounce some of these names, but I see you, T.F. There's no way that it wouldn't be that way, man. There's no way that it wouldn't be there. DJ Fit Force with capital. These guys are putting in capital letters. DJ Fit Force. I don't know who the hell you are, but what up? What we got here? Approach 18. Hell fucking yes. We got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of exclamation points. It's like, man, you're the guys that I'm here to fuck with, man. So if you ain't on that shit, I presume most of you are already signed up. But if you weren't born from your mother's ass and you didn't bump your head on the way out, you probably signed up for this stuff already. Maybe there's some guy, when I look at hundreds of guys still on here fucking with us late at night, maybe there's some guy that just passed out in his chair and he's drooling on his dick or something. And, I don't know. It's a graphic image that, probably after I said that, you can't unsee it now. But, if you fuck with one of these dudes, man, get your ass over here, click on this thing. I got to bounce in a minute, but click on this thing. I want to help you, man. I don't need to do this for money, dude. You know, if it sounds like I'm a hard closer, yeah, I'm a fucking hard closer. Let me explain. Yeah, I'm a hard fucking closer. I want every man that I could help. I want every man that I could add tremendous value to their life. I want every one of you that I could add tremendous value to your life. The little cover charge to come in would be something you would laugh at when you look back a year from now and you think how fucking different your sex life is, how different your fucking confidence is, how much extra money you're going to be making from your employer, from your business, from your side hustle. When you're around a bunch of fucking successful dudes that like all we fucking do is plot about like how can we be better, how can we help other people be better. When you're around those guys, you're going to be one of those guys, man. You know, there's no other way. It's like it's not a choice. You're going to be like the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's not a choice. That's just how it is. So when you're communicating with us, I'm a fucking hard closer for those guys. Why? Because, you know, man, if you spend a few dollars to come fuck with me and that changed your whole fucking life for the better, yeah, I want every one of you guys is like that. Come fuck with us, man. I'm going to help you. You know, if you're one of those guys, it's like I'm not serious. I'm just a fucking spectator. I'm the type of guy that fucking watches football on TV and touches my balls when I see the guy in the tights. When I see them big, strong men in tights, I just like to rub my balls and think about my uncle, how he used to touch me as a kid. You know, if you're one of those guys, man, you know, I'm sorry for what your uncle did to you, but, you know, get over that shit. You know, this is for guys that are serious. If you're one of those guys, you're supposed to be on board, and I want every one of them to be on board. If you're one of these guys, you got to sit on the fence. You don't want to talk to me for hours and hours and hours. You don't want to be able to communicate with me directly. You don't want to have a network of, you know, probably have 400 or 500 men on this platform by the end of the week. This is the first day of launch. We got over 200. So if you don't want to be a part of that group, man, just get off this chat right now. You know what? If enough fucking losers, if there's a loser happens to be out there, if you're a fucking loser, if you ain't on board with us, if you don't give a fuck, if you ain't got $67 that you want to invest in your future with, get the fuck off of here so I can talk to these other guys. And like, if I get enough losers off of here, I could just talk to the most committed guys. I could open this up to a phone conversation maybe, and I could take some fucking live questions instead. So if you're a loser, if you're offended by those words, if you don't got $67 to invest in your future, yeah, that's cool, man. It ain't for you, man. Success ain't for you. Success ain't for you. But you know, the thing is, I'm looking at the number on the screen and I don't see that number changing. So it's time for the losers to leave. Time for the losers to leave. If you ain't committed, you know, go back to your neighbor's dog, bro. Go back to, you know, put that Vaseline, rub it between 2 pillows and do what you do, man. You go hit on some dudes in the park if you're one of them type of guys, man. Look at this. A guy says here, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. A dope fiend, a drug addict's got money. A drug addict, a guy living on a sidewalk can go find $67 daily, no problem. A drug addict on a sidewalk could find $67 to go be a dope fiend, to ruin his health, to literally kill himself. Are you telling me that men like you ain't got $497 or 67, if not, to fucking invest in your success, to invest in your success, to be a fucking champion, to be a fucking winner, to invest in a pure group of fucking winners and champions? If you ain't got fucking $67, a dope fiend's more resourceful than you. If you're less resourceful than a drug addict, get the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here if you're less resourceful than a fucking drug addict. Goddamn dope fiend can find that, no problem, bro, no problem. What other questions you guys got? You shoot me one more round of questions, and I'm gonna go fuck a pretty little girl. Fuck a pretty little girl, maybe in her butt. I'll think about that. What we got here? Will this help me grow in my career even if I don't have one? Absolutely. Like, look, man, the 2 things I talk about all day is fucking, you know, how to gather resources in only in 2 contexts. Is like, how do I gather financial resources? How do I get fucking social resources, which includes like hot bitches and awesome dudes. So I mean, all I want to do is have hot women that are fucking really cool and get along with, awesome dudes that are really cool and I get along with, and then I want to go talk with those people and hang out with them and work on being productive, man. So, you know, I'm a bit of a crass character, sure, I know, but you know, I also, dude, it's like, how did I go from a little peasant boy, literally crying myself to sleep, literally, How did I go from a little child crying myself to sleep on welfare, just like a mess, um, and then instead, turn that around to being, I had $1 million by the time I was 29. Let me tell you a finance story right now. Let me tell you a little business story. It's like, there were 3 times in my life where I had a lot of money and then kind of fucked it up. And then I had a lot of money and then kind of fucked it up. And then I had a lot of money again. And now I've learned not to fuck that up again. So now I got enough money. I won't fuck it up again in my lifetime. But, you know, I just say this. It's like, when I was in my early 20s, I had a couple $100,000, and adjusted for inflation, maybe that's $350,000, $400,000 in today money when I was still in college. And I found a way to fuck that up, and not entirely. I spent a lot of money on education. I spent a lot of money investing in self-help programs and travel and things like that. Went to private universities, etc. So that was good shit. But the thing that happened is, by the time I was 26, a couple investments didn't work out for me. One thing, a real estate investment I made got fucked up. And I went from having a good net worth to, by the time I was 26, I had a negative net worth. I had a negative net worth. And that was 13 years ago. And, 2006, whatever, I was like, I had to do the math. And it was like, oh, my net worth is negative $200,000. My net worth is, over that, slightly over $200,000 negative. And then I had to go out and look around the world and be like, oh, when I see a homeless guy on a sidewalk looking for change, I'm like, that motherfucker is probably wealthier than I am. This fucking guy on the sidewalk maybe got more money than me. That was fucked up. But you know what? Let me tell you how this ends is, a couple of years later, because I was investing, I was over leveraged in some stuff for a minute, but because I was investing in my education, in financial assets, etc., well, things turned around for me. And, as frankly, as the market got worse, my finances got better. And at 26, I had a negative net worth. And a few days after my 29th birthday, I had my first $1 million. And, all I've thought about my whole damn life was like, how do I gather those resources? How do I help other people do that? Because, I'm not the world's biggest altruist, but I'll tell you this is like, when I want something from somebody, the answer, it doesn't matter what I want. I really hope you guys take this to heart for yourselves. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what I want. But what matters very much, what matters very deeply is like, when you think that thought, like, oh, I want, the thing that you should think next is like, what could I do for somebody else? They'd be so happy to give me what I want. They'd be so delighted to give me what I want. It'd just be easy. It'd be easy for them to give me whatever the fuck I want. Because you were so valuable to them. And there's just no trickery about that. So, anyway, I turned that million into a few million more, and I turned that into a few million more. And I'm not filthy rich. There's plenty of people out there that have more money than I do. But the average age of any millionaire is depends what study you look at, is either 62 or 63 years old. And I was 29 when I had my first $1 million. The average person who gets $1 million is more than twice that age. So, it's just a function of, being around the right people, getting yourself around the right people, having the right work ethic, and having a strong drive to be able to contribute, to make yourself useful to others. And, man, the more you can make yourself useful to others, and the better you can communicate that usefulness to others, man, they're happy to fucking be useful to you. They're happy to give you any damn thing you want. So that's going to help you with your career. Yes. It's going to help you with entrepreneurialism. Whether maybe you're just a career guy and you're totally happy with that, but be the best at it, man. Go to the top of your organization or your industry. Maybe you want to do an entrepreneurial thing, but you don't know a lot about it. So you got to go start a little side hustle first and go build something from scratch. That's fine. That's great. That's fantastic. But it'd help you with those things. It'd also help you with your sex life. It'd help you have better relationships with your friend and family. When we talk about game, it ain't just pickup, bro. Like, pickup is literally like, how can I be a better communicator? How can I understand other humans more? And how can I understand economics deeply enough to make myself very valuable and useful, and then go help other people so they can help me? Those are the main things the guys got to be thinking about. There's nothing else. That's what pickup is. Let me tell you just a couple quick stories. A couple of these are just humorous, but I never really say these, and I never said it in my interviews before, but I think they're fucking funny. is one of my buddies. He used to be an instructor with RST. His name was Ryan. He was a great guy. He's in my wingmanship interview. It's posted on YouTube under something to do with like how to be a godlike wingman. It's one of my favorite interviews I ever did. If you're not on my YouTube, check it out. But my buddy Ryan, he says one day he goes to a fucking medical clinic to get an STD test. And Ryan walks into the clinic. He got an itch on his dick or something. I forget the specifics. But Ryan walks into the clinic and he has like a female doctor is like assessing him. And she says, well, how many sex partners have you had in the last 12 months? He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know, maybe 40, 42. And she chuckles and she's like, no, really? Like, how many sex partners? He's like, no, really about that. And she already is like a bit shocked. And he says, the fucking female doctor is like, well, did you wear a condom with all of these women? And he's like, well, sometimes. And she's like, well, what do you mean sometimes? He's like, look, I just think of it like this, of like, as long as before I ejaculate, as long as when I ejaculate, we embrace each other and hold each other really, really close, I just feel like nothing bad could happen. Which is maybe one of the most dumbass things I ever heard in my entire life. But I just thought it was funny, man. Just one more thing about persistence is like, sometimes I see these guys are like, Derek, I already talked to that one. Oh, cool, bro. Go talk to her again, man. Like, there's nothing wrong with reapproaching the girl. There's a lot of things right with reapproaching the girl. Maybe her mood changed a few minutes later. Maybe, who the fuck knows, man? Like, maybe something happened earlier and she feels different now. Maybe, she's more comfortable. Something's different and she's going to be more open-minded. There's 1,000 reasons to reapproach. The only reason to not approach is, I guess there's two. I guess it's because you're dumb or because you're a pussy. Well, you shouldn't reapproach then. I guess you still reapproach, but you're too dumb or too pussy to know that you should. I was with Owen once. If you ever meet him in person, ask him about this. Owen and I were in Honolulu, and we go to this nightlife spot, which is like a very nice restaurant during the daytime. And then at nighttime, it turns into a lounge, like an upscale lounge. So we go there maybe 9:30 p.m. And I see this very, very pretty woman sitting at a table, one woman, one man sitting at a table. And I go approach them. I interrupt their dinner. I go hit on the girl during their dinner. And then I had to do that about 3 more times. And, is that obnoxious? Yeah, it's fucking obnoxious. I don't give a fuck. I don't care at all about that guy. She's having fun. I'm having fun. I'm just offering her a better option. So long story short, I had to open this girl 17 times during the night. And, she's having dinner. I'm interrupting. Dude's waiting to pay the bill. I'm dragging her away from the table. They stayed and had drinks and shit. He's buying her 2 drinks. He's buying 2 drinks, one for him, one for her. I'm taking her drink and drinking out of it in front of him. There's a lot of things happened there. But, at the end of this, I was kind of paying attention to the cadence of the elevator. And it's about 1 a.m. And I know things are winding up at that time. And when I see the elevator open, I heard a little ding. And I didn't even look. I just knew it takes a couple seconds to open, a few seconds to close. And as soon as I heard that ding, and the woman and I were near the elevator, I just picked her up, carried her in the elevator. The elevator goes down 20-something floors. She and I walk out on Kawakawa Avenue together in Honolulu, Waikiki Beach. And we just walk down the sidewalk. I hold her hand. I'm moving her down the sidewalk. And she's like, where are we going? I said, just down here. She said, no, I can't go with you. Where are we going? I said, well, we are going together. We're going to my hotel. It's just 2 blocks, just down here. And she's like, I am on a date. I've told you I am on a date. I cannot go with you. And I'm like, you're not on a fucking date. You ditched that guy. Here we are. She's like, I can't go with you. I said, I don't believe you. She said, no, really, it's possible I can't go with you. I said, you don't even believe you. And I grabbed her hand. We went down the sidewalk, and I just laughed about it. We went down the sidewalk, and we did our thing. And it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful romance. And, that girl, we spent time, 8 or 9 months. She lived in Manhattan. She was just on vacation, lives in Manhattan, fresh out of graduate school, just finished her master's degree at that time, had a professional job, a beautiful girl, wonderful personality. And we had a, 8-9 month, open relationship where it never would have happened if I didn't have the audacity to get the fuck in there and open the girl, man. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses that are getting in the way of your success. Get the fuck in there and open the girl and do it again. That girl thanked me. That girl literally thanked me when I came to New York. And I go to New York 10 times a year. I love Manhattan. I do a lot of boot camps there. Have a tremendous amount of just fantastic friends there. Some of my best friends in the world live in New York. But when I went to New York, I went and seen this girl, and she thanked me. She's like, God, if you weren't so persistent, we would have really missed out on such a good time. And man, stop don't make these excuses, man. Don't let excuses get in the way of your success. And in terms of should you reapproach her, let me give you a useful tool. Should you reapproach her? Yeah. Here's how you know. Did she spray you with tear gas or pepper spray? Has she presented the pepper spray? All right. No, then it's probably safe to reapproach. Has she taken out her Bill Clinton rape whistle? If she presents a Bill Clinton, or probably Bill Cosby works too. So any rape whistle that says Bill Clinton, Bill Cosby rape whistle, well, probably you shouldn't reapproach that one. She's in a high state of alert. Has she notified the authorities or security? No. Well, you know what? If none of those fucking three things happened, she hasn't notified the authorities. She hasn't notified the security. There's no Bill Clinton rape whistle. There's no pepper spray being presented. Get the fuck back in there and go approach her again. Your persistence, your excitement and enthusiasm and persistence has to outweigh her fucking reluctance. And she doesn't even know you. She's not reluctant about you. She just thinks you're some guy. She just thinks you're some average guy. That's why she's treating you that way. It's the burden. The burden is always on us as men. It's always on you, and it's always on me. The burden is on us to get in there, interrupt that woman's life, shake her fucking ass up, get her attention on you, and lead her down a better path, show her a path to brighter ways and better days. Last story. I have friends with, you guys know Julian from RSD, good friend of mine, my assistant Graham. Brad used to be an instructor with RSD, he traveled with me a ton. Those are three guys that had really great results. When I met them back in the day, they weren't doing so good, man. Brad's a handsome guy. He's, maybe 6'3", looks like a fucking Abercrombie and Fitch model. Looked like that 10 years ago, looks like that right now. Great looking guy, fantastic man. He just finished his master's degree, and he comes on boot camp. And he's 26 years old at that time. He had sex with 3 girls in his whole life. And, when he came on that boot camp, we got that turned around. On the first night, he fumbled around, whatever. But on the second night, he closed a really beautiful girl. And then I was going to be in the same city that he was living in. And I just liked the guy. So I hit him up and said, hey, man, how are things going past after boot camp and so on? I'm going to be in your city next week. Well, what's up? And he's like, it's going good. I started dating that girl that I met on boot camp and, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what the fuck? You came on fucking boot camp to get your 4th girlfriend? Or you came on boot camp to change your fucking life, dude? And he's like, yeah, I know. So what are you doing, man? Anyway, so I told him, like, look, I'm going to be over there. You're a good guy. Like, come hang out with me and my buddies this weekend. Hang out for a couple hours. And, like, look, I'm kind of looking for somebody to travel with me and, like, play assistant, this summer. And you want to fucking, is that something you're excited about, something you might want to do? And he's like, well, you're dating that girl. So fuck that girl. So are you willing to break up with her and come travel with me? You're not going to date that girl and come travel with me. Are you willing to break up with her? He's like, well, yeah, I think I'd do that. So he gets rid of his fucking 5-month relationship just because I put that out there and dangled that carrot for him. And then, we just hit it off. We had a good time, man. But, Brad went from 4 girls to 63 girls, not even that year. In about 9.5 months, Brad went from 4 girls to 63 girls. Why? Because he's with me and I'm telling him what the fuck to do. And, because he's a fucking executor. Because he's an intelligent man. He's a disciplined man. He's capable of following advice. If you're a smart guy, you're a disciplined guy, you're capable of following advice, I can help you. That's the key differentiator that's going to help one guy get results and another guy's not going to get very good results. Now that wasn't a nice time, with him. That was a very tough love relationship. He's still a dear friend of mine. He just wrote me 2 days ago. But it doesn't matter if it's a nice time. It's me rubbing his failures in his face and then telling him how to have success. And God damn it, he just executed and he did fantastic. He just did fantastic, and I got a lot of love for that man. I got another friend, Graham. Graham was a primary assistant of mine. He traveled with me for about 70 boot camps all over the world. Some of you guys would have met Graham. Graham's fantastic. And when I first met Graham, he came on boot camp with me in Austin, Texas. And on his boot camp, it was Valentine's Day weekend. But it must be 2.5 years ago. It was Valentine's Day weekend. And he got laid. He's watching a girl on the sidewalk. It's club clothes. People are leaving. I said, get your ass over there and get that girl. And he kind of hesitates, and then another dude gets in there, and I said, see what the fuck happened? Now he's going to go fuck her because you want to hesitate. He's going to get the girl that you could have had. Instead of being decisive, instead of taking action right now when you're supposed to, you want to fucking hesitate. All right. So anyway, this idiot gets a phone number. He could have closed the girl. It's Valentine's Day. She's standing on the sidewalk by herself. She's looking around for a taxi or an adventure. She don't want to go home really, but she's got nothing to do. So this idiot takes a phone number and goes and fucks off. Well, that's a whole different argument, this phone number thing. But Graham, I tell him, get the fuck in there. And he goes. And 10 minutes later, maybe 8 minutes later, he's getting in the taxi with the girl and they're off. And he closes the girl. And the next day he's asking me about threesome advice. Threesome. My buddy Graham, he traveled 70 boot camps, maybe 70 something boot camps, all around the world 6 times, all over. And this guy, the sex life he's built, the number of threesomes he's had, nobody's had more threesomes in fucking 2018 than my friend Graham. And why is that? Same thing, man. This guy's an executor. He's looking for direction. He's looking for guidance. He's looking for somebody to fucking point him in the right direction and give him a kick in the ass when he needs it so he can go get results. And the life he's built is just fantastic. That I don't know anybody that had more threesomes with more hot girls this year than him. Just fantastic. And one more, I'll just go back to Julian. It's like, Julian is, great guy. The guy that you see today, that's Julian, very confident, a great public speaker, very enthusiastic, very energetic man. A lot of respect for Julian. Shout out to Julian. But when I met Julian, similarly is this guy, he was really introverted. If any of you think you're introverted, this guy was really introverted. It wasn't a good thing, man. And, fucking, I'm sorry, there's a little something here. All right, yeah, fix that. Is that any issue right there?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, I thought there was a little technical issue with it. In any case, Julian fucking, this dude, he couldn't make eye contact with me when we first met. He just couldn't make eye contact when we first met. And Owen says, yeah, this is my new assistant. I met him in Las Vegas. Owen says, oh, this is my new assistant, Julian. I said, what the fuck are we going to do with him? The guy can't even look at me. But he kind of shoved him in his head and whatnot, as you would think. But, the thing about him, man, is the same thing. It's like execution. That guy is looking for guidance and executes. And I never seen in my life a bigger turnaround from the way that Julian was when I met him till 18 months later. I have immense respect for his work ethic, his intellect, and his execution. Because I never seen a better turnaround story from a guy that came from a low place to a guy that was banging Hollywood models in 18 months' time. It was phenomenal. And why do I tell these stories? Is like, it's back to you, man. It's like the guys that are executors, the guys that get shit done, those are the guys that I can help. I helped every one of those guys. In Julian's case, I'd say Owen was his primary mentor. Many times I was there and I tell him, man, do this, do it like that, try it different. You got to think about this different. Get the fuck back in there, try this. And, that guy had phenomenal results because he didn't have a big ego, but he did have a lot of execution. He just go do what we tell him to do the fucking thing, put his ego aside, do the fucking thing, and phenomenal outcome in a year and a half. So back to, I think I'm thinking about that young man's question from earlier, about age. It don't matter if you're a young man. It don't matter if you're a beginner. If you're really advanced, you want to be around a bunch of guys that are really advanced. We got you. If you're a young man, You need to fucking, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, frankly, or you're doing okay, or you're doing great for your age. Man, there's a lot further to go. But the key indicator is like, what is your execution like? What is your execution like? And if you're a fucking executor, I want you to get on board with us. I want you to come fuck with us. And there's nothing else to say, man. So I'm gonna tell you, the only thought you got to have in your head is like, are you willing to follow? Are you a coachable person? Are you willing to follow the guidance? Do you want a group of men to fucking help you do this together? Or are you just gonna go, like get your MMA lessons from the YouTube and wrestle a fucking teddy bear in your living room? Learn your fucking learn some Muay Thai, kicking a fucking stuffed puppy dog or something in your living room. That's fucking retarded, man. Like, if you're serious, come fuck with us. Last thing I want to put in your head, and I got to bounce, guys. It's like, I want to share a paradox with you that, like, you really got to reconcile if you expect to be successful, with women or with life in general, man. It's like, it's probably the most important thought I had this year. It's something I've taken like very, very seriously. And I want you to take seriously when I share this with you tonight, man. It's like, those that do, much like that thing I said earlier, define your identity. What kind of man am I? What kind of life do I want to live? Who would be the best companion for that life? You got to have that sorted out. If you don't have that sorted out, you're fucked. And then the next thing is this, is like, a lot of guys are just like, you're reluctant to set a goal. Guys get reluctant to set a goal because if they set a goal and they don't execute on it, it would make them aware that they failed. If you set a real goal and you know what the criteria for your success is, you know that if you're not doing the right thing, you have to look yourself in the eye, in that fucking mirror, and you let yourself down, man. And like, don't be one of those guys, man. You got to set goals. You got to go for the shit that you want, man. And the thing I said will change your life. The second one is big, man. Is like, if you lack the skills to close the deal, you won't even try. You won't even set a goal that you're supposed to close the deal. You just let another day go by. You're just like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, that would be nice, but oh yeah. If you lack the skills to close the fucking deal, you'll never close the deal, man. You just let it go by. And it's not your fault, man. It ain't because you're a dummy. It ain't your fault. It's like when a man doesn't see the path to success, he don't know what to do. He doesn't know which way to go. When you don't see the path to success, he'd be inclined to not take action. He'd be inclined to just wait. We'll see how things turn out down the road, And the thing is this, man, it's like when you put yourself in a situation where other people have been down that path, other people have done that shit before, you can be around more experienced guys, you can be around other dedicated guys, you can be around a team of fucking executors, they're fucking killers and get shit done. Well, that path's going to be more clear, man. When you got that advice, that path is going to be a lot less foggy. It's going to be a lot more clear exactly what you need to do to accomplish the shit that would make you happiest, or provide you the best fucking life that you could possibly live, man. And like, you don't want to stay in the fog, bro. It's like, if you don't lack the skills, you won't close the deal. If you don't see the path, you won't even take action to try to close the deal, man. It's like, it's just human nature. It ain't your fault. But when the perceived probability of that success is low, people stop taking action. But when you feel very certain, when you feel like fucking, you know what to do, you know how to, the first steps to take, after you take that steps, you get a little more clarity. After you get a little more clarity, you're going to fucking double down on your commitment to take those steps more aggressively, man. And that shit builds into a fucking upward spiral, man. That's how you build a fucking upward spiral. That's how you build a fucking successful life. So take those first steps, get that clarity, double down on your fucking action, double down on your action taking and your fucking commitment. Your results fucking go up, and repeat that process, and you're going to be a fucking champion. So I want you to take that first step and join up with me right now, man. If you're a serious guy, if you're an executor, get on. I got to go bounce. I got to fucking jump in the shower and see a fine-ass young lady in just 30 minutes. I really appreciate talking to you guys. I got tremendous respect for you that, when instead of fucking off on this evening, instead of going fucking around doing whatever normal people do, got hundreds of people on here late at night, still fucking on their shit, man, on their fucking shit, trying to get more information. I want you to go execute on that information. Let me know how I can help you. I'm gonna get you on the platform $497. You'll be locked in for life at $497. You want to be on the bonus call with us. In a couple weeks, I'll schedule that. I fly to Australia in a couple days. Shout out to Australia. I'm going to go cuddle a koala bear, but not in New South Wales because that shit's illegal there. I got to touch the koala on the low so I don't get a government charge. But I'm going to do that fucking that other talk probably from Australia, man. You're going to have my closest assistants. We're going to tell you fucking dopest shit that happened and the most important things we learned in 2018. We're going to share that with you and how to use it. We're going to help you have the best 2019, best fucking year of your life in terms of your sex, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your fucking execution in general, man. And yeah, man, come fuck with it. There ain't a better time than to do this. I'm here for you. Get the fucking bonuses. Get on board right now and ensure your future success, bro. Peace.